Greetings, Brutal Planets. We are live tonight with the guys from a Wilhelm Scream, Trevor and Nuno. Guys, thanks for joining us tonight, man.
No problem, man. Happy to be here.
So what I like to do in these cases, because I'm a fan of you guys' music and I've been a fan since the Career Suicide record, but I like to get kind of like an origin story, just for people who might not know who you guys are and kind of what your history is, because you guys have been around for quite a minute and have quite a discography. So
that's true. Yeah, we've been doing this for quite some time.
Trevor, you coming through? Everything cool? I think we might be. So yeah, I mean, I guess. Can you hear us now?
Trevor can't hear us.
I can't hear anybody now.
Try refreshing your browser, because that's what works for Nuno. I also I've got to put on another. Well, while we're figuring Trevor out too, Nuno. I mean, maybe you can give us a little bit of the background of the band, or get
for sure. Yeah.
The story anyway.
You touched on, we've been a band for quite some time in a couple different iterations. But Wilhelm Scream basically spawned out of like our high school band. At the time we were called Smackin Isaiah, which I mean, pretty terrible band name.
Not unless Isaiah deserved
in the world, but it's shit tons better than Smackin Isaiah. Anyway, one of the members of Smackin Isaiah, one of the guys we started the band with, was leaving, and we had a bunch of new songs and stuff going on. So we figured that was a good time to change the band name to Wilhelm Scream. And so yeah, that was right at the turn of the millennia there. That was right around 2000 or so. And we've been Wilhelm Scream ever since. That was going on 26, 27 some odd years or something.
Yeah, I love the name too. Like a lot of people don't know that it's like a stock Hollywood sound effect. How did you guys come up with that name? Is there like a good story behind that or anything? Or
I think the story is our friend Jarrett found a mention of it in like Maxim magazine or something like that. Like we're all kind of movie buffs. We all love watching movies and stuff like that, and kind of getting nerdy about stuff. And I think one of our fellow nerdy friends brought it to our attention, like, oh, check this out. Oh, it's called a Wilhelm Scream. It's been in all these movies, and so I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it was Jarrett, right? Trev, is that?
I think so. It's funny because Jarrett, we all threw a bunch of names in the hat, right? And they're all mostly bad, but
terrible.
Jarrett, I think the worst one was like Caves of Black. I don't know why I remember that one, but it was like, John Tez was like Caves of Black.
I thought it was Caves of Dark, which might be even worse.
Maybe it was that.
It was
maybe it was the Caves of Dark. It was like really like, whoa, like John, and John was like really into it too. I was like, whoa, I want to be into it. But Jarrett had sent like a list, like oh, how about these? And the two that I remember were a Wilhelm Scream and Mute Print. And we were like, whoa, Mute Print's a really cool name too. So we called our first album Mute Print and so Jarrett was like 2 for 2 that day. That was a big day for Jarrett McPhee. Shout out Jarrett McPhee.
Guys nailing it.
Yeah.
I have to ask you this too. Like the album Lose Your Delusion, was that a play on Use Your Illusion? The Guns N' Roses thing? Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, that's fucking brilliant. Because I've seen like other bands will do like Appetite for Distraction or something like that. But I'm like, that is brilliant.
I couldn't believe it wasn't taken.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, man, we got to use it, man. If nobody's used this, we have to. So, and what I usually do is like, if I, I'll always type, if there's a name that I like, I'll try to title a song by that name. So just in case it doesn't like pass the test to be like an album title, at least that cool title will be somewhere.
Makes it in.
Yeah. Yeah. And then if I need to, I'll just change the name of the song. I think I remember it was on the Ruiner record.
Yeah.
We had a song called The Soft Cell, and that was like our first single and stuff. And we still play it live. And that song was originally titled Ruiner, and we're like, you know what, Ruiner's probably like the best like title we got, you know, kind of fits and stuff. So I said, all right, cool, yeah, I'll just change the name of this other song to something else now. So it worked out that way.
I've always been kind of curious too. To me, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but to me, you guys kind of embody what I would consider the metalcore sound, because you kind of are fusing like hardcore punk and actual metal. Like, what are you guys' influences? Like, what kind of brought you together musically and stuff like that?
I think there were a lot of those bands. I mean, like within like the kind of shared community of like kind of that West Coast sound, there were always some technical bands coming out. Obviously Fat Records signed Propagandhi. They're very technically kind of punk metal-y kind of a band. Strung Out also.
Strung Out, yep.
Yeah.
But there are a bunch of bands. I mean, I was just listening to like 88 Fingers Louie just the other day. I think there's always been like bands like that stood out to me that were kind of more on the technical side of punk or whatever. But I mean, I love thrash music too, like growing up, like Anthrax and stuff like that I didn't really, I guess I thought was just straight metal until I discovered that there were all these kind of subgenres, you know what I mean? So I think we fall into that somewhere because of some of those bands that we listen to, but also it's like that stuff's super fun. I mean, I don't play guitar, but that shit looks super fun to play, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Albeit really hard to play.
I think that's one of the things I like. Sorry, one of the things I always dug about you guys is it seems like you guys are just having a great time.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
Trevor, step on you.
Oh no, just to like piggyback on what Nuno was saying, like I remember when our sound kind of like took the more of the metal-y turn, at least with the guitars and the melodic guitars and stuff. And it was really when we heard In Flames for the first time. We were probably like 17, 18.
Right.
And like In Flames and At the Gates. I don't know who we listened to first, but it was like it was one of those two bands, you know. And I think those two, I don't know about other like, you know, more traditional like metalcore bands, you know, like the 2000s metalcore bands. Like I can't speak for them, but just as a person who, like, I'm more of a punk rock guy, so my vantage point to metal is a little bit different. I pick and choose what I like. You know what I mean? I don't take the whole kit and caboodle. You know, I'm like, ooh, I like this part of it. I like this part of it. And I think like that At the Gates and In Flame shit had to be like freaking influential on other bands just as much as it was us. Cause you have that, like, I think Nuno's son Brixton explained it to me the other day. He was like, oh yeah, that's the 579. And I'm like, oh, you mean the I mean, everybody had that riff.
Yeah.
If you were in a band between the years of like 1999 and 2004, you had that riff. Like for us, it's in a song off Mute Print called Stab Stab Stab.
Yeah, the like string skipping riff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm curious on what other bands like I'm trying to think of like metalcore bands. You know, like I'm curious what like if it's the same thing for bands like Converge or like Poison the Well, who are probably the similar age group. They might be a little older than us, but same like generation. If At the Gates in that kind of genre of melodic death metal really influenced them, but it definitely did us. And then Iron Maiden shortly after that, and it's like, shit, you could do rock songs and, you know, anthemic stuff. So that's where my mind goes, you know.
I think it was it the guy from the Black Dahlia murder, Ryan Knight, was saying similar stuff about At the Gates. I'm pretty sure At the Gates was like a huge influence on them too.
Oh yeah, had to.
But a lot of those bands.
Yeah, that was one of those bands that kind of came out of nowhere. You know, I remember passing around like the little black cassette tape, and it was like, I mean, like again, like kind of like Trevor said, like we were very much into punk and stuff by this time. You know, Bad Religion and kind of like those core bands. But when you hear something like that, that's like so like thrashy and fast and like melodic at the same time with those really hooky guitar riffs, like you have no idea really what the guy's saying for the first 25 times you listen to the record, but like it's undeniable. Those riffs are just so catchy, and it's fast, you know what I mean? It didn't kind of bog down like some of like the more hardcore kind of leaning bands did, like really leaning into breakdowns and that kind of stuff. It was just straight ahead, like ripping, you know what I mean? Like Motorhead, more Motorhead than, you know what I mean, than maybe, I don't know, name another band, saying Sepultura or something, I don't know.
Sure.
That's kind of the stuff that we kind of were really listening to, was that kind of thrashier, faster, melodic metal, So yeah, I mean, Judas Priest is a great band. We didn't listen to them a lot, but like that band was definitely opened up by us, or for me anyway, listening to bands like, Iron Maiden and that kind of stuff.
What kind of punk bands? I mean, you mentioned Bad Religion, but are there also, I'm curious, because you guys are from Massachusetts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are there like with the scene that you came out of, are there other bands that you guys are tight with in your local scene that are still kind of out there doing it like you guys are?
I mean, there's always been bands around. I don't know that many of them have been doing it as long as we have, like out of New Bedford, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of bands. Trevor's always got a band in the studio, whether they're from down the street or from, Quebec, you know what I mean? Like we're still very much stay in the scene in that regards. But yeah, there's a great hardcore and punk scene in New Bedford. Always has been.
Yeah, definitely. But as far as like guys that are like older, like, guys in their 40s, like, I don't know, like, no, but definitely no bands that have like stayed together the whole time like us. Like, definitely not. But you do every now and again. You get some bands will get back together after like 10 years.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, and that'll happen. I'm drawing a blank right now for like more of like the local bands and like from our scene and stuff, especially in those formative years, because like that goes back a long ways. Yeah.
There's a lot of, I feel like so when I'm probably close to you guys' age, but like when I was a kid in the late 90s, or a teenager, it was kind of like it was such a vibrant time. I felt like for heavy music, because like the hardcore thing was kind of really taken off, and all these East Coast bands like Vision of Disorder and Earth Crisis and Candiria and stuff, and then you kind of also had the grunge thing happening, and then like kind of almost like a punk explosion with like the Fat Records crew and the Epitaph bands like Offspring and NoFX and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like you guys kind of really blend all those elements together really well.
Oh yeah, and definitely, and also like a lot of the post-hardcore bands, like the ones that come to mind would be like Hot Water Music, that was sort of like for us like came after like the Fat Record stuff, and that was also an equally big influence on us as well in our early days, like the groove based rock, but it also like the vocal delivery, like really gruff vocals, but Chuck and Chris back, they're singing like really beautiful melodies, you know what I mean? Like, but delivered in a very heart-wrenching way, like I want to say emo, but not emo the way that we know emo to be today.
Right.
Like emo in the formative years of it, where it was kind of like more of like a, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but sort of like not a primal thing, but
expressive,
like,
maybe.
yeah, your voice crack, like the voice cracking, the shouting, you know what I mean? Like a lot of like band, like the Hot Water Music, the Leatherface style bands, where there's a lot of emotion coming out, you know, but it's also like really aggressive singing, anthemic.
Yeah, really soulful stuff. You know what I mean? Like, even though it's hard and kind of gruff, you know what I mean? It's really soulful kind of stuff going on. And I think too, like those bands, like Trevor said, like Hot Water Music, those are bands that would hit the road for weeks on end and play every B and C market, you know what I mean? Like several times over. So their shows back then and even to this day are just packed full of people still singing along, you know what I mean? So clearly they were doing something right. And we definitely picked up on that too. Like around here, there weren't in like, as far as local shows, there weren't very many bands of that kind of caliber that would come through and play. But there were some great bands for sure too around that time. That band, the hardcore band Grade from Canada was a band that was popping off pretty good, and they used to come through. I remember they were great. I used to love watching that band too. Like that was another one of those bands that you could see was really making a connection with their fans every time they played. So bands like that definitely influenced us in that regard, or certainly influenced me, you know what I mean? Wanting to make sure that every show that we do, regardless of what city or town or backwater or wherever the hell we're at, we're gonna go out there and really give it all, you know what I mean? So yeah, like really important times too. Trying to think though, to go back to other bands. Trevor's uncle was in a band, and he ran into my wife the other day at the supermarket. So big up, Jim. I'm sorry I wasn't there.
Jim.
I never go to the supermarket. Trevor's uncle was a big mover and shaker in the local scene forever too. Gave us a lot of our first shows. So yeah, he cornered my wife at Shaw's the other day, I guess. True. No, I'm just kidding.
He knows you guys got new stuff coming out.
Yeah.
Do either of you guys have any questions? I'm kind of like,
No, you're hitting all the points. I'm curious about the new record though.
yeah, that's what I was going to go next. So
Yeah.
Well, before we get into that, I do have one question that goes way back. I'm looking at your Wikipedia page, and for about 20 years now, you guys have had the same lineup, except what do you guys do to your lead guitarist? My gosh. You got like what, 5 or 6 lead guitarists here?
I know.
Is it 5? Are we up to 5 yet? We have a subscription.
Yeah.
So we just renew it. And,
Yeah.
Sometimes
we
like one of those things you forget
swap
you're
them
even
out.
paying
Yeah.
for it, and then like 3 years later they send you a new guitar player. And you're like, oh shit! Like someone got me this as a gift years ago. I forgot to cancel it.
Oh, that's funny.
good question, Joey.
Yeah. I don't know. They just expire. It's like Spinal Tap, you know?
Yeah.
They just explode.
They combust.
They self-destruct. Yeah.
When you're in a band for 25 or more years, obviously certain things are going to change in everyone's lives, you know what I mean? So I think it's been a combination of personal lives and that kind of stuff of that nature, and also just kind of like natural kind of progression, like like you got to write a record with this dude, or we really want to collaborate with this guitar player, and we're looking to write some songs. Having said that, the relationships we've had and the great times we've had with our guitar players will never be overshadowed by the next thing coming down the road. We always have a lot of love and respect for all those guys. You know what I mean?
No, I just had to give you a hard time because I just see like solid band members except for the lead guitarist. So
Yeah. They're never, no one's ever really out of the band forever.
That's true too.
And everybody, they all want back in.
They're always jumping in on sets, dude.
Well, that's
every single one of them. They always want back in.
It reminds me of Norma Jean. I mean, they've gone through so many band members, and it's like Norma Jean and friends now. It's just.
Yeah, that band though, like these guys have the core members still in place.
Oh, that's true.
Oh yeah.
That
They
band is like all
reinvented their whole
now.
band. Yeah.
And Brian's also been with us. I mean, Nuno, Nick, and myself. I mean, we've been playing together. freaking 1996.
Right.
Wow.
But like, you know, which is the same band. It's the same
Yeah.
band to me. Like, you know, it's all the same shit. We just changed our name, just three times, you know. But like, but even like Brian, I mean, Brian just was like, guys, officially 20 years, like this
Yeah.
year, you know, like he's like, here's the first visa I had to apply because he's Canadian. He's like, oh, here's the first visa that I applied for. It was 20 years
Wow.
ago today, you know. So it's pretty wild. So
Cool.
yeah, it's just been a couple guitar players, I guess.
You know how guitar players are, am I right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They get playing that eruption solo, and they just
Right.
Yeah.
They always want to stop by Guitar Center. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not
Well,
always
we
want to
lost
stop
my-
at Guitar Center. That's what
Yeah,
happened. That's what we'll
Yeah.
tell people from now on. Oh, we pulled over. He wanted to go Guitar Center. We pulled over. We lost him. I don't know. We left.
he got lost.
We told him we were leaving
He
30
took too
minutes,
long.
dude. We never saw him
Yeah.
again. Lost in Guitar Center.
Yeah, he was trying out a freaking Marshall JCM 800 from 1982, and he just got, I don't know.
He got hypnotized.
He never came out the
Never
booth.
came back. Got lost chasing tones.
Those
Yeah.
Marshalls are treacherous.
All right, let's hear about Cheap Heat. I want to hear about this.
Yeah, so tell us about let's talk about the new album, man. You guys have a new record coming out. It's February 23rd, right? Or
27th,
27th.
I think.
Sorry,
Some-
it's like right in the
20
title
cool.
of the goddamn stream.
Nice. Yeah, 27th, man. Yeah, Cheap Heat. It's an ass kicker.
That's all you
Write
gotta
that
say.
down. One of you guys write. Someone of you guys got to write
Yeah.
that down. Come on.
And do you guys do a lot of your music yourselves, or are you
It's an ass
working with
kicker.
the producer?
Just
It sounds
Sorry,
like
what?
just us.
Yeah,
I was the production team.
Gotcha. Yeah, I like
on
that.
this one. Yeah, the production team was me, but also Nuno also recorded me.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes when I go and yeah, Nuno pressed the number 3 for me.
Yep.
Ben, when Ben was recording guitars, me and Ben were doing guitars. Ben did the same thing. Ben recorded me sometimes too. So those guys helped. But yeah, we recorded it here in my studio.
Nice.
And yeah. I'd love to work with a producer. I mean, man, it'd be great to work with a producer again. It would be a lot easier. It'd be
I was going to ask you if
it'd be
you
a
guys
lot less
prefer,
work.
if you guys prefer doing stuff on your own or working with another producer.
This is awesome because
I
like
love
we're
it.
home.
Yeah.
We're home. You know, we're home. Like, you know, we're gonna spit. You know, if I want to take X amount of time working on a guitar part for a song, you know, I'm gonna do it. You know, I guess there's drawbacks to that too. If you have unlimited time, you will use all of the unlimited
Yeah.
time. You know,
Mhm.
which I do. I am definitely guilty of. Just to get that extra percentage out of it. You know, out of it. So, but I do miss having like a, you know, someone like a Bill Stevenson or Jason Livermore to, like, you know, kick you in the balls, or, you know, no, kick you in the ass every now and again, not in the balls, but kick you in the ass every now and again to get, you know, like have that kind of like that rah thing.
Like a
Which,
coach.
you know, yeah, which maybe in the future, you know, like that'd be awesome to be able to have that kind of thing now. But we have been working towards this for a really
Yeah.
long time, to be able to have like to be able to have like a place and like the knowledge, like the know-how, and to be able to do this, you know. So yeah, it's been fun. It's always a freaking adventure. Can you swear on this? You guys?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
do
oh,
whatever
yeah.
you want, man.
Perfect.
I hope
Perfect.
so.
Yeah.
We're all about
Yeah.
free speech here.
Awesome.
Say
Killer.
whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
You reminded me. I forgot that Bill Stevenson did you guys' first couple records,
That's right.
and
Yep.
for people who don't know, he's the drummer for the Descendents. So I mean, what was that like working with a punk rock legend? Really, kind of like on your first couple records.
He makes you feel right at home in like the grossest ways possible. No, it's fantastic. Like you said, the guy's a legend, but not only for the bands that he's been in and his, length of time and, dedication to the scene. But I mean, he's got an ear. He's not just like a punk rock guy who got a studio. Like, it's not that simple. Like he's like legit, like a genius in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His ability to hear things that you might not be hearing, whether it's in a production sense, like, hey, like you guys don't have a high harmony here or something, you know what I mean? And he'll be able to lock it in and be like, just do this harmony right here, that aspect, as well as an engineering aspect. Both he and Jason over there, Livermore at the Blasting Room, are just wizards when it comes to that shit. And I mean, you just walk down the hallway of that recording studio and you'll see all the records on the wall and you'll be like, holy shit, that one too. Like, they, the proof's in the pudding.
And he's really into the songwriting. He's really into songwriting and into songwriters and into knowing like what's going on, in the songs, and gave us a lot of confidence from that. Going in there and having a guy saying, "Whoa, you fucking wrote this shit? What's this shit about?"
Yeah.
and meaning it. He's not like shining us on. He already got the gig. So coming out of there, especially after those first two albums where like kicked our asses, like, it was like a boot camp in recording. So coming out of that, it was like, man, we're like brimming with confidence the next time we came in, so that was a major kick in the ass for the band, just to work with someone outside of like my dad, who was the only person we had worked with up until that point. My dad like recording our demos for us in the basement, so to go in there and then get this like validation saying like, whoa, like this guy sees something in us that we've always seen in ourselves, which is that we're legit, like we're the real deal, like you come out like the guys you see on the street are the guys that are like going in the studio, that are going from the studio to the stage. They didn't change their clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like, like something about us that those guys, they liked the blue collarness of us. I don't think that they had like really seen that kind of bluntness, the way that we spoke to each other.
That's an East Coast thing too.
That's an East Coast thing. Yeah, they were not used to that, and I think they were kind of taken aback by that sometimes, like saying, "Oh shit, yo, do you have to go like, whoa, you just told him that he's playing like shit. Oh, do you have to go like smooth it over?" It's like, no, he's fine. He's fine. That's just what we do.
He can handle it.
Yeah.
That was mild. It's like, Nick, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing, Nick? What the fuck? You fucked it up again, you motherfucker. It's like our old bass player just ripping on our drummer.
John ripping him. That was garbage bag. That was garbage bag. Bill still says that all the time. Garbage bag. Oh,
your performance is garbage. Oh, that's garbage bag, Nick. That's garbage.
Yeah.
Do you guys still talk to Bill and those guys?
Yep.
Yeah. We'll exchange the random text message, but he tours so much now that we, with Descendents and stuff, that we run into them. We probably run into them every couple of years, somewhere in these European festivals is usually where you run into everybody that in music.
Yeah.
It seems. Everybody's over there in the summer.
Yep.
Doing the festival circuits and stuff. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, he's a great guy. All those guys, great people. We learned so much from them. Yeah.
Well, you obviously learned a lot because now you're doing it yourself. So
yeah.
But it sounds like you have a background in it anyway. Like if your dad was recording you and stuff back in the day, Trevor probably.
Yeah. I've always been around the environment, but it was always it was never like not really so much like the technical stuff. The technical stuff I didn't start to really get into until I had to decide, like, hey, you know what? Like, we can't afford to spend like $40,000 for every album anymore.
Right.
Like, especially if we want to make the kind of music that we want to make, which is just like, you know what I mean? Like eventually, like the ends have to meet, like monetarily, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it just made like all the sense in the world. And my dad was also like pushing me towards it, because like as far as like the as far as the mechanics of like recording a record, you put if you put it on like a hierarchy, is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hierarchy.
in the-
Hierarchy.
yeah, thank you. Like if you put it in the order in which things are important, like probably the most important thing is like the playing and the players and the playing aspect, and that was the thing that that's how I started off before I knew what a compressor even did, or any of this shit like EQ,
Mm-hmm.
like any of that stuff. Like my dad would have me track bands. So I'm tracking the bass player, you know what I mean? And enough to know that like I was already writing my own songs and in a band myself that was pretty good. We were pretty good at that point, and I would do drum checks with him. So so I was always in that environment. I started off as a drummer and stuff. So uh, learning that the nuts and bolts of how important the actual players are into how it comes out in the end was something that I'd been already sort of training for. But by the time that we got to blasting room, then it was like, okay, now you're recording in front of like world class musicians, world class players, that they do this day in and day out for a living, touring and stuff like that. So like that's when it's like, wow, okay, we find out our own, like, I guess, weaknesses, limitations, I guess, as players, places, that we can improve upon, and knowing all of us in the way that we are, you know what I mean? Like all you need is just a little bit of embarrassment. Get embarrassed just a little bit. Get down, then you get up bigger than ever before by fucking playing yourself out of it. Play
Right.
yourself out of a funk. I feel like we all did that over the course of years, and we got better and better and better and better, by doing that and playing like I don't know how many shows a year.
Yeah.
Nuno, what were we playing
I
in
don't
our
know. It
early
feels like
20s?
we're gearing up for a lot more, but it's always good. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah,
Yeah.
he's right. You know what I mean? And again, like you mentioned like a second ago, like you asked earlier about like, oh, it would be cool to get in with a producer again. I think for a lot of bands, not just us, uh, the times they're changed. You know what I mean? Like they're on a lot of indie punk rock labels throwing money around like they were back in the 90s and 2000s, you know what I mean? So I feel like those opportunities kind of started to be very limited, for very few bands. So that kind of sparked a lot of people. I mean, Trevor for years growing up in his family was around it, but I think a lot of other people, like I see it in young bands now who are like pretty adept, whether they learned as youngsters how to do dumb shit on GarageBand, you get them behind like a Pro Tools rig or, any of these other kind of, recording rigs, and they're kind of pretty adept at it, and they dive right into it. Part of it is being an artist and being able to control another aspect of what you love to do. But the other part of it is just like, who's got money to pay for these, for these huge studios or these producers, you know what I mean? Who's got money for that these days? So I think it's been kind of like a blessing and a curse in a way, like, but more of a blessing for us. Trevor over the years has poured all his time. I mean, the studio that they're in now, literally like blood, sweat, and tears into that place. You know what I mean? To make it a place for not only our band but other local bands and bands in general to go through and get a good product out of someone who's basically gotten to that point through personal struggle. I don't mean to make it sound like a negative thing, like not a struggle, but like through that through that experience, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's a pretty interesting time to be making music, and the fact that we were able to bang out this record and like be really, really proud of it and like be able to take our time with it and really bang out all the shit that needs to be banged on. You know what I mean? Like that was awesome, dude. Like I wouldn't trade that for, you know, some big Hollywood studio or some big name on some liner note that gets, however many points on your fucking record or whatever. Like, no way, dude. This is the way to go. I feel like, not saying that it wouldn't be cool to work with a cool guy in a studio at some point. That'd be fun for sure. But I mean, we're the guys that were kind of ahead of the curve when it came to cutting those people out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Punk has always had kind of a DIY aspect to it anyway. And to your point, you're right. It's like I feel like even in today's climate, it's like kids almost have to know how to record and mix themselves. It's like part of being a musician now almost.
Right.
Yeah.
Like self-publishing,
Yeah.
essentially your own stuff, whether
and
you're
and content maker and photographer
Yeah,
and
at least to
fucking
get started.
and,
Yeah.
and joke
Illustrator,
maker,
yeah.
and fucking
All that shit.
everything.
Yeah,
You gotta do everything.
a lot of
What-
arrows in the quiver.
What inspired you guys to make another album? Like was there anything that triggered it? Or
We needed money, Dustin. We need that money. More guitar players. We need more guitar players.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
The inspiration, I mean, we've been on this mission. It's funny, like we've never been I guess with the exception of the first couple albums that we did, because those were like pretty bang bang bang. The first three kind of within 2 months of each other, 2 years of each other. I'm sorry. And but I think back then it was like it was more of a thing where it's like, okay, here's what we got to do. All right, let's get it. It was more like the label Nitro that we were on, them kind of saying, okay, guys, like, do as much touring as you can until basically we would tour until like the opportunities for touring, sort of would dry up because we're just starting out, right? So we're getting like, Lawrence Arms is taking us on tour for a favor. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So like we're sort of jumping on as openers on pretty much anything we can, and then once while writing at the same time. So it was sort of like we're going towards this goal of like, okay, then we get to the second record and then the third record. It was sort of like this like trilogy thing, like they do with movies now, where everything's like a trilogy to be done in this amount of time. And then I think like after we were out of Nitro, our touring opportunities, just from being around and getting our name out there, our touring opportunities like really expanded. And we were going to Europe like crazy. We were going to freaking Russia. We were going to freaking all these places. We're going to new places all the time. And then we would come home and then, have our lives as well, So we were still doing like the band like full time, but instead of these like 2-year turnarounds, it would end up being like 5 years, and then like kind of like be in like 6 years, and those years can really slip on by when it's like, wow, like our songs, they're not like easy to make, they're kind of like I don't know, they are what they are. I don't know. We have this image of this, okay, what's the coolest shit we could do? You know what I mean? Like, well, the coolest shit we could do isn't going to happen necessarily on the very first draft of something that you do. You know what I mean? And like, you can really bang your head against the wall if you, expect that to happen, because it never happens that way. Sometimes like serendipity, and stuff, but really you need like a good grip of time to like sit there and work on stuff. And for us, as we got older and older, it got harder and harder to do that. Especially with the band like Nuno, Nick, and myself. We're in the like the home base of New Bedford, But Brian's Canadian, he lives in Canada, and Mike at the time lived in Detroit, or he lived with us. So the time between records would started to get, you know, larger. I think with Cheap Heat, we saw that it's not the amount of years that it takes to make a Wilhelm record, it's the amount of consecutive days and weeks to work on these thoughts, you know, together, and make all the thousands upon thousands of little decisions that have to get made to get to get a Wilhelm Scream song finished. And how can we do it in a way where we're not like spending, you know, having 5 years in between, because we're not getting any younger. And I look back at our catalog and it's like, yo, we should have come out with more albums. You know what I'm saying? I feel like maybe we like, and I am totally to blame for this, like maybe being a little too precious about, you know, is this next album the best shit we've ever done? Like, like, is this the best, you know, oh, the best. Like that was sort of like the pressure that we put on ourselves for every album. But later on, I realized, whoa, nobody does that in bands, because that's fucking insane. You know what I mean? That's fucking insane. It's like this Gene Simmons quote that I heard like fairly recently. It's like, no, dude, like it's you punch the clock, you put your 8 hours in, you put all of your focus and attention on it for that 8 hours. At the end of that 8 hours, whatever you're working on, finish it, complete it, whether it's the best shit you ever did, or maybe it's somewhere in the middle, you know, whatever. Like it's all in the eye of the listener anyway. It doesn't even matter once you're done with it. It's like what your audience feels about it. So I think that's something with this new album with Cheap Heat. It's like, you know what? No, we have to say like, okay, we're gonna and especially since we have to book flights to get everybody together to do things, you know, and with everybody's like schedules and life and everything like that, it was like, all right, what can we do? Let's take let's take like 2 weeks here, and then we work on riffs for 2 weeks in this at this time period, and then we'll do that in New Bedford. The next time we went out to like Joshua Tree to do another one. Then we did the next one in New Bedford again. And then we did the next one. We did a lyric retreat where we went back to Joshua Tree, but just to do lyrics. And since doing it that way, it was like, okay, like we're craftsmen now, you know, like this is like, I wish that I had come along to this way of thinking earlier, where it's like, no, it's not like, no, this is not as good as the best song we've ever done. It's like, no, it ends up being your best shit because you allowed yourself like, no, we're gonna start this shit on Monday, we're gonna end this on Saturday, and we're gonna have something to show for it at the end, because we're gonna put the hours in every single day like it's a 9 to 5.
Put the work in.
And put that work in. You know what I mean? Because if you're gonna just sit around and wait for inspiration to strike, then you're gonna be waiting like a really long time.
To your discography thing too, I feel like there's this like quality quantity thing that some bands manage better than others. It's like you can crank out a ton of shit in a short period of time, but like, is it all going to be that good? Like, so there's also that dynamic, you know. It's like, and that's what I personally, that's what I was freaking obsessed about, bro. Because like the first 3 albums we did, when like if you look at, you know, whether they got reviewed by like alternative press, this always comes to mind, like alternative press. We came out the gate, like our first records, we got 5 stars for like our first 3 albums, like the highest that they give, you know what I mean? Like looking at that, it's like, fuck, like I would hate to be the guy in this band that, you know, is the what's the 3, is the 3-star, am I gonna think that the 3-star album that we gave is complete bullshit? You know what I mean? Like, does this fucking suck if it's not a freaking 5?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you really get in your head about that kind of shit.
it's tough with critics too, because if a band's doing something that's like next level or like breaking a mold or something, critics won't like it. Like, oh,
And it takes time too for that kind of stuff to catch on sometimes. Like,
Sure.
Our albums are definitely like growers. I've been told that like so many times, like people saying like, yo, I'm so glad. Oh man. Like after listening to that song 10 times, now I see the freaking genius and brilliance in it. And I'm like, fuck.
Well, there's a
You know
lot
what
going
I'm saying?
on. in your
Yeah, there
music.
is. There
Yeah.
is. And like all these things that I'm talking about, like this is like this is the thought process that Cheap Heat came out of.
Okay.
Thinking of these things and then saying like, wait a minute, like, you know, I don't know, like what's this song about? Well, I feel like it's starting to become about this. Let's keep freaking going. Let's keep going in this direction, you know, so that it was like this sort of excitement, knowing that like, oh wait, I'm not writing a song about the lineage of my family that nobody knows that outside of me and my family, where it's like there's this great importance because if I fuck this song up, I can't fuck this song up because it's like this freaking important thing.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Well, like not that these songs on the new album aren't important, but
I was gonna say I
important
was kind of scared to fuck it up
they're
sometimes.
they're important in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which song
You
off
say
the
you were
new
scared to-
album? Oh, sorry.
No, I was just I was just saying with Nuno what Nuno was saying.
Oh yeah, not wanting to fuck it up. But I mean, that's more of a prideful thing than anything. Once you get in there, you just want to make sure you bang it out.
yeah. Well,
But I mean, I think like Trevor was saying, like on this record with these songs, we were like just right down the middle. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Pedro Martinez style. You know what I mean? You know it's coming. Just try to hit it. You know, this one's coming hot down the middle. You know what I mean? Like just try to hit it type shit. Like that kind of confidence, I think really helped out with this, you know, with me as a songwriter. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you know, don't use, you know, 8 words when 3 will get the point across. You know what I mean? Don't, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff, like I learned from Trevor, who's constantly thinking about that kind of stuff. Whereas sometimes I get too in my head about, oh, is this poetic enough? You know what I mean? It's like, fuck that poetry bullshit, dude. Like, does it feel good and sound rad? Do you see
Yeah.
people screaming it back at you like when you're singing it? Like, can you picture this stuff? Like, that's the emotion, that's the rawness that's gonna sell, you know, that's gonna get the song over. You know what I mean? So in that regard, I feel like this record is a lot like our first records, because like we didn't have that kind of I don't know if it was a filter, like a governor on us, like, oh, we've already established that we, you know, this is the kind of music we're capable of, or this is what someone might expect from. We didn't have that at all in the beginning. It was just raw power, energy, and belief. You know what I mean? Like this, like, how the fuck do these guys have this much confidence? Where the fuck are you guys from? Like, who are you? You know what I mean? And like, but that's the kind of shit that got us over. You know what I mean? And so on this record with these songs, that's exactly what it was. You know what I mean? The whole time was like getting over, like, you know what I mean? Being raw with it, getting over on the shit you're good at. You know what I mean? And not trying, for me anyway, not trying to be too flowery or something with a delivery sometimes. You know what I mean? You know, like I said, like why say all this shit when you can just say fuck you or something? You know what I mean? Like, or whatever. I mean, I'm obviously boiling it down to its basics, but I mean, this record, every time I listen to it, go back and listen to it, I'm like, fuck yeah, it makes me feel good. Like, I remember that moment in the studio, getting that line and being like, oh yeah, that's the one. You know what I mean? It was so fucking fun doing that. Like, it's the best feeling.
It sounds great too. Joey, what were you going to ask before?
Oh, I was just gonna ask, like, and maybe none of them do, but like, what song off this new album has the funniest or most original like origin story?
Funny or original? Well, they're all
Well, I mean,
original.
something that really stands out that like
Do you guys
Well,
have any
there's some, we
favorites?
always have fun with like the song titles while we're working on them. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there was Midnight Cruiser, right?
That
Which
was
then
yeah.
became there was Midnight Cruiser, which
Midnight
then
Cruiser.
became Midnight Kruger, which then became Midnight Kruger, I'm Your Worst Nightmare, and then it became Midnight Ghost. So like that all happens all the
Yeah.
time, pretty organically in our band.
Yeah.
I
But
love your
it's fun.
song
I
titles.
remember that song too. Like after one of the sessions that Trevor was talking about, the guys had gotten together and we're trying to like just do arrangements and stuff because there's never any lack of ideas, you know what I mean, or parts knocking around in all of their heads. Like by they, I mean like the guys with guitars and stuff. But I remember listening to some of the ideas they had, and that song in particular, like sitting there with Trevor one day, probably way too high, and being like, "Oh, dude, like, yeah," Trevor being like, "Dude, this song, it's like it's there. There's something there," and I'm like, "Oh, dude, I think you're right, but I think this part needs to go here." You know what I mean? And again, I don't. I mean, I love music. It's been a huge part of my life, but I don't claim to be like a composer of any high title or
Right.
entitlement or whatever. But I was like, yeah, dude, we just gotta like, I think this part over here. And I was like, it was that chorusy bass thing. You know what I mean? I was
Mhm.
like, where's that chorusy bass go? Like, and there were a couple little fun times like that where, I kind of got to see how the sausage was made in regards of like the musical arrangements. So Midnight Ghost was a great one. Like that too, like that was fun too, like on our lyric kind of retreat that we did out to Joshua Tree, like bouncing ideas off of someone in real time. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it's just you have this great line, you kind of working on this phrase or whatever, and someone's like, "Oh, what about try this?" And you know what I mean? Even if it's 5% of the time that it's better than what you have, you're like, "Fuck, oh, that's incredible." You live for that moment where you're like that collaboration, that love and respect of that you have for like the people you're writing with, you know what I mean? There was a ton of that on this record. I think that's why it's probably my favorite record we've ever done.
That's the coolest part of being a band. Being in a band, I think it's kind of like because you might have an idea for something, but then you show it to your homie. And he's like, "No, what if you tweak it like this?" And like, whoa, I would have never thought of that. That's fucking brilliant.
Right. Yeah. Not being like completely married to whatever it is that's yours and not having that kind of it can be like a creepy emotional attachment to this thing that you've and you're entitled to have some that's your baby, your idea baby or whatever, and it can be tough passing it on to someone, you know what I mean, you hope they don't fuck it up, you know what I mean, like but it like Trevor was saying like earlier, like we have a great rapport with each other. If someone like if I have an idea in my head and Nick's like goes into like kind of like a a jazzy beat or breakdown, I'd be like, no, it's not that, dude. And he'd be like, no, this is cool. I'd be like, no, like, please, no. Like, yeah. And like, we're allowed to tell each other, like, dude, that's fucking stupid. Knock it off or whatever. You know what I mean? Or like, or hey, that part was so fucking rad. Like, we has to go somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, you have that fun dynamic in a Wilhelm Scream because we've all been friends since we were kids for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of love and respect and mutual understanding of each other's kind of ability to fly off the handle or to collaborate depending on the day of the week. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's real organic. But like I said,
it also takes some humility. Like for a lead singer, it sounds like you have a lot of humility. I think it takes
nah, dude. I am I'm only doing that for the podcast. I put on no, like it's
performative.
It's great, dude. I'm in a band with like it's like funny, like sometimes it'd be like, oh dude, there's like 3 fucking kick-ass drummers in my band. You know what I mean? Like there's like any number of people in this band have a skill that I'm either envious of or happy to have to lean on. You know what I'm saying? And it's been that way the entire time I've known these guys. You know what I mean? Personally and professionally, if you want to call the Wilhelm side of this professional. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that a lot of bands have that. Like you said, like, oh, you guys look like you're having fun. And we are. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we like doing this together. You know what I mean? That's why we've been fucking doing it for so long together. You know what I mean?
What you were talking about reminded me of a quote by Harry Truman. He said, "It's amazing what you can accomplish when you do not care who gets the credit." And I think that's what your guys talking about, like just collaborating and just making something amazing because you don't care whose idea it is. It's coming together and coming out awesome.
Right. Yeah. It's like, yeah, you don't want to fight over who puts the top on the pyramid when you've just struggled to create this whole thing. Like, what's the point? You know?
Right.
Everyone in our group is happy to collaborate and like really honest with each other. You know what I mean? And again, like not emotionally attached so heavily to their shit that it's gonna be like, well, fuck that. That's my song. You know what I mean? Like you gotta find
there's no Dave Mustaines in your band.
I wish, dude, that'd be sick. No offense, Trev. But I mean, Trevor's always saying we should have a third.
Well, there's a lead
player,
guitar,
so
opening.
if we're gonna get a third guitar player, might as well be Dave Mustaine. I
He's the might say he wrote your songs though. Be careful.
I call it that's my Mustaine.
We rip on Dave all the time.
No, with love.
Why? He's such a likable dude.
with love, of course. You know,
is there something I don't know? Seems like a decent guy.
Yeah, he's a legend.
You guys know about Dave Mustaine, Meet the Real Dave Mustaine?
No.
Oh,
is it like a meme or something?
On the Wilhelm Scream EP that we put out in 2009.
Oh,
we had a B-side. We had like an alter ego band called The Guys Downstairs, and we had a bunch of jokey songs. And Dave Mustaine, a song about Dave Mustaine is on it.
I've never heard it. Funny.
So if you get your hands on it, the vinyl, it plays backwards. If you flip it over and then start the needle, I think from the inside groove.
Yeah, you start the needle on the inside of the record and it plays out.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And that's how you can hear
or
the
vice
song
versa. Outside and it plays it. I don't know, some shit.
But it's not on streaming or anything. It's like a
no.
I don't know. Maybe someone popped it up somewhere already.
On
I don't
YouTube
think so.
It's probably on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, probably. Yeah,
it's definitely.
Yeah,
on
you can
YouTube.
find it on there. Yeah,
everything's on YouTube.
Yeah,
well, guys, we've been on for like an hour. Let's kind of wrap it up before we move into news. If you guys want to stick around, you can. If not, that's cool. But the album comes out. Let me put up the cover. I love the cover too, man. Comes out on the 27th. And what else? Anything else you guys would like to say about it? Or
we're going to be on the road.
Yeah,
we're going to be on the road at the same time, just hitting up some of our favorite spots. So out western United States and as far north as Vancouver, then out to Australia and Japan.
Wow.
So we'll be charging it really, really hard on this new record, man. We can't fucking wait, dude, to get this whole thing out there. So yeah, we're really excited.
I got to listen to the whole thing all the way through, and it's fantastic. I haven't really given it my full attention yet, but I'm excited. And like I said, I've been a fan of you guys for a long time, so I was just really excited to hear that you guys are back out there with some new stuff. And I really appreciate you guys taking the time to come on and talk to us about it and everything.
No problem. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, and hopefully we can catch you guys out on the road. I know you're hitting Salt Lake and LA. Doesn't look like you're
LA. Maybe I'll go to LA
or Albuquerque. But
where are you guys at?
I'm in Albuquerque. Dryden's in LA.
Yeah,
I'm in Minnesota.
And Joey's in Minnesota. Yeah, we had a whole conversation about Minnesota before you jumped in. And just
what's going on over there?
A whole bunch of weird stuff. I think someo's upset about.
It's not Dave Mustaine, is it?
No.
Dave Mustaine better not be up to no good.
It's just ice. It's just icy over here.
Yeah, it's really cold in Minnesota right now.
No doubt.
Yeah, and no more Triple Rock too. Rest in peace, Triple Rock. One of the best venues ever
in Minnesota.
In Minnesota, oh yeah, Minneapolis.
Yeah, Minneapolis.
Oh,
Everything
We've
is
true.
always,
closing.
we've always had a lot of love.
Yeah, they
for-
shut down
for
the
the-
Chain Reaction
city.
here pretty recently, or the last show
in
got
San
played.
Diego.
Yeah.
It was
We
at
got-
Orange
we-
County, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got signed the day we played that venue.
Big Chain
Okay.
Reaction.
Yeah, all of Nitro came out. They all had Nitro Records jackets on.
Yeah, I remember that.
damn.
There was like
Yeah.
there was like eight of them. They all mobbed out and they signed us. They signed us the next day.
They're like a biker
Nice.
gang.
Yeah, they had like cool. It was like cool like work jackets, like
yeah,
you know,
they're like car Carhartts kind of.
kind of style, like Nitro Records on the back and shit.
Dope.
Looking all tough and nerdy.
Yeah, yeah,
Tough and
so,
nerdy. I like it.
yeah. So it sucks. It sucks when venues close up, man. It fucking
Yeah.
blows.
True.
Parkside's another one. Just
Dude,
closing down.
dude, I just saw that. So Parkside, so San Francisco's
San
lost
Francisco.
Parkside, Slims, and they're losing Bottom of the Hill
Slims
too,
is
right?
closing?
Slims has been
that-
gone.
Brutal.
Oh shit!
Bottom of the Hill is closing, and so is the
That's
Parkside.
closing. Oh,
Wow.
man.
Yeah,
Wonder- yeah. Wow.
There's not going to be anything left, man.
It's like Ticketmaster took over finally.
I think it's
Yeah.
just, dude, it's just rough. It's a
Yeah.
hard time to be making a living doing that shit, especially in places like San Francisco, where
Oh, God.
you know that tiny building. You
The
know what I
rent.
mean? That tiny building and the vacant lot next to it is probably
Zillion
worth like
dollars.
fucking
Yeah.
$18 million. Dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Fucking
saying?
terrible.
Fucking crazy
Yeah.
shit.
Well,
But-
we'll catch you guys out on the road. Do you guys want to stick around while we do news stuff?
I've got a dip
Okay, cool.
because I have I actually had a couple things going on back here.
No
Waiting,
worries. Honestly, man, we talked to you guys for an hour, which is fantastic, man.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I was looking at my watch. I was like, oh shit. It's been...
Yeah, no, thank you for doing
Yeah.
it.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us and for checking out the album and
Hell yeah.
yeah, having us on your show. This is awesome.
Yeah,
And
we'll
to
be
all your
shouting about it,
viewers
man.
and listeners too. Thank you for your time, your eyes and ears.
Yeah, people that don't know too, like I'm sure a lot of people on our channel know because we cover a lot of like hardcore metal type bands, and so a lot of our followers. But for people who don't know, you guys need to check this band out, man. These guys are crushing it and have been for a long time, and this new record is next level. So, and it sounds fantastic, man.
All factual. All
Killer
factual
job.
information.
Killer
Thank you
job
so
on
much.
the production too, Trevor.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. We'll be in
Yeah.
touch. Please come back through and
Thanks.
talk to us again too. Maybe when on your next leg of your tour, or when you guys have something else.
Yeah,
to-
hopefully see you, Dustin, and out in Arizona.
I'll
Dave,
catch.
maybe out
I'll
there
definitely
in,
catch you
LA.
guys, whether I drive up to Salt Lake or fly out to LA and hang out with Dryden. I'll definitely.
You can crash out. You can crash out on his couch or whatever.
Yeah,
I've
you can.
done
There you
it
go.
before.
that's where
Yeah.
we're staying.
Awesome.
If there's-
Awesome.
Yeah, he's my son, actually. I don't know if you were here when we mentioned that, but because I heard you talking about Nuno's son earlier too. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Very
Dryden.
cool.
Well, thank you guys again. Very much
Badass.
appreciate you, and everyone fucking check out Wilhelm Scream. Killer band, killer guys, and we'll see you guys out there.
Hell yes.
Killer. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
See you
guys. Take care.
Peace.
Peace.
Don't forget, people, the album is Cheap Heat. It's out February 27th. And we're going to move on to some news items.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
Cool dudes. They're
Yeah,
just
those guys are
down to
fucking
earth.
rad, man. I think it's funny because I got the note about the record, and I immediately messaged their PR people and was like, "Yo, are these guys doing interviews? Because I would really love to talk to them."
Hmm.
And it was,
That was fun.
well worth it.
Yeah, it was
Let's-
good insight to hear. Just to say, quick sidebar too, to hear from them. Obviously, being in my band, because I honestly don't know them that well, but they obviously have a pretty big discography and have been doing it and killing it for a while. And they kind of have their own little thing going. So it's cool to hear that they've, because I'm kind of in that boat he was talking about, where like you're
Yeah.
mixing my records and like I'm at the beginning stages of
Yep.
that whole thing, so it's interesting to hear that.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of. We had a lot in common there. I thought I was like, oh, that's cool, because he was saying Trevor like worked with his dad in the studio and kind of learned The roof, and his
Yeah,
dad
yeah.
did their demos, which is kind of what I'm doing for you guys. So
Exactly. So I was kind of like, oh yeah, that's cool. It's interesting just to hear that because you really can't. It seems like, I mean, I'm sure they're not making millions of dollars, obviously, but they're doing, they're doing all right. He's got his own studio. They're having a
They're
good
touring
time.
to Australia and
Yeah,
Japan.
it's not about it's not about making that. That's
Yeah.
where people get it twisted too. And I like what he said. I didn't want to like cut him off, but I like what he said about when you're making a record, like trying not to take it that serious, because there's a fine line between like, you want to create something insightful and, poetic, but also you got to realize that like if you take it that serious, like, I don't know, like Nevermind, Nirvana, you think they were really, I mean, obviously they're trying to write good songs, but they weren't like, this is going to be the biggest album of all time.
Right.
Like they just kind of wrote it, put it out, and, were doing their thing, and it just happened that way. And that's always the way the best bands do it. They just work hard together.
it's also cool to talk to a band like that who has that kind of like they've been together for that long, right?
Yeah.
Like they're like same as like Metallica or whatever. It's like despite their differences and like they're able to like call each other a fuckface and keep like not keep jamming and stuff. So
and they have that work, like the discography too to show for it. I didn't even realize like a couple of their songs have like a couple million, I mean not a couple million, like millions of listens.
Yeah, they're legit, man. They're one of those bands
popular, so I didn't even know,
been grinding for a while.
I thought it was hilarious. I was ripping on Dave Mustaine, and then they have a
I didn't know that. That's cool.
I didn't even know that either. That's funny.
That's cool.
He's like, oh, you guys know about Dave? Hey, meet Dave Mustaine, meet the real Dave Mustaine. Like,
no, but that's great.
Oh shit!
We
gotta find that.
Oh, we're totally gonna find it. We just like I'm now because of what happened. I'm like just really apprehensive about playing clips on the show.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Well, let's talk about some news items. We have to talk about like current events and shit. And I've been going on the site and posting stuff up. So the first thing I have in here, and I have a couple actually good stories, is Turnstile cleaned up at the Grammys this year for metal and hard rock.
So before you start this too, I saw that. My question is, because I was reading some of the comments, like I don't necessarily hate this band or anything, but like it's kind of the same thing with Sleep Token, where it's like, are they like a metal band or are they more like I don't know.
They were originally a hardcore band. Like if you listen to their like old stuff,
I haven't listened to them enough, so I can't judge them.
Yeah,
but
so
from what I've heard, like their more popular stuff, it's more like punk and like
it's kind of post-punkish.
Yeah, a little more like there's no like not like screaming. He's like yelling or like you know what I mean. Like he's not crying.
It's not really metal. It's more like rock.
I just thought it was interesting that I just thought it was interesting their Grammy nominations or wins.
So from the site we have Baltimore, Maryland's Turnstile cleaned up at the 2026 Grammy Awards, winning 2 awards for Best Rock Album and Best Metal Performance. While the band claimed 2 Grammy Awards this year, they were also nominated in 3 more categories. The band won Best Metal Performance for their track Birds and Best Rock Album for their LP Never Enough. They were also nominated for Best Rock Performance, Best Rock Song for Never Enough, as well as Best Alternative Music Performance for Seeing Stars. So they got a lot of nominations. And they were nominated, according to this, back in 2023. Turnstile song Holiday was also nominated. So these were who they beat out for Best Metal Performance right here. Can you guys see that?
Yeah. I'm surprised Knocked Loose wasn't up there
for a Grammy.
Yeah.
So
they were the year before, though, weren't they?
Yeah, I think they were.
Because it was.
I think the cutoff. So it's funny because I noticed this. When I was reading the comments on this, someone was like, "Oh, it was something." Actually, I was reading the comments on Billie Eilish because Billie Eilish said something about Ice, and so all these people in the comments were raging on her. And this one guy goes, "Someone please tell me how a song that came out in 2024 is nominated for a Grammy in 2026." And then I looked at the criteria, and the cutoff is like August of 2024. Yeah. So it's like August 2024 through like August 2025 or December 2025 or something is the period that they nominate through. So some stuff that was released in 2024 is nominated. It's funny because I was thinking about this the other day when I was listening to that Testament record, Parabellum. I was like, man, that didn't make any of our year-end lists because it came out in like October or something. It came out like
Yeah.
super late in the year, but that album is fucking killer, man.
Yeah, I still got to check that out.
It's great. So anyway, on to the next. More Grammys news. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Post Malone
I did.
and Slash and Duff and Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And then the guy on the far left is Andrew Wilson, I think is his name.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. I was like,
So you might ask yourself, what's the relevance of all these guys playing in a tribute to Ozzy? They played War Pigs as a
Yep.
tribute to Ozzy. All of these guys played on his last couple albums.
okay, gotcha.
And Andrew Wilson actually produced the last two Ozzy records. So here, I'll show you this real quick before we move on. Post Malone, Slash, Duff from GNR, and Chad Smith of Red Hot Chili Peppers, and producer Andrew Watt. Sorry, not Andrew Wilson. Andrew Wilson is like the conservative douchebag guy that's kind of like a weenie. Performed a tribute to late Ozzy Osbourne this past weekend's Grammy Awards. The group played the cover of Black Sabbath's song War Pigs to honor the life and legacy of Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness and beloved Sabbath frontman who died last year at the age of 76. Ozzy's family watched from the front row and were clearly emotionally moved by the tribute. Post Malone worked with Ozzy on the single Take What You Want back in 2019. This track eventually appeared on Ozzy's 2020 album Ordinary Man, which was produced by Andrew Watt. Duff McKagan and Slash and Chad Smith also contributed performances on this album. Andrew Watt also worked on Ozzy's final solo album, 2022's Patient Number 9. So I don't know if we should watch this because it's ET, but it kind of just shows the Osbourne's kind of getting choked up at the performance and stuff.
Yeah, I
If
saw
anyone
it. It was
wants to
good.
watch it, they should go
Post
to our
Malone's a
site.
good singer.
Yeah. What'd you say, Joey?
I said if anyone wants to watch it, they should go to our site.
You
and
should go to
check
our
it
site
out.
and watch it. Yeah, straight up too. I spent the site is actually humming now. The last couple of years it was kind of like choking. It was not doing very well. Like it was down all the time, and now it loads right up. There's not a bunch of intrusive ads, so it's gonna be a lot cleaner moving forward for people who do care to read the articles on the
Yeah,
site.
listeners, Dustin got fired from his job just so he could fix all this stuff for you.
Yes.
For you.
I intentionally got fired. I worked my hardest to get fired just so I could sit at home and work on websites.
For you, listeners.
I don't care. I love it. I don't care.
He's everywhere.
So that brings us to our next story tonight, which is
God.
your boys in Megadeth. Now, before we talk about the actual album, let's cover the story.
Okay.
The story is actually good news for the boys in Megadeth. And you guys may or may not know this, but where's my drum roll at? Megadeth scored their first #1 album in the US with this new record.
Wow.
Yeah. Megadeth have achieved their first #1 album on the Billboard 200 chart in the band's 40-year history. Their latest
Nice.
release, a self-titled album, which is said to be the band's final studio release, debuted at the top of the charts for February 7th, 2026. Megadeth originally appeared on the Billboard charts for the first time back in 1986 and has appeared 23 times throughout their career. Before this week's #1, Megadeth, the closest Megadeth had climbed, or it said that's a typo on my part, so I'm gonna have to fix that. But Megadeth had climbed as high as #2 back in 1992 with their landmark album Countdown to Extinction. The new self-titled album was released January 23rd, one day after Mr. Mustaine released a documentary film, Megadeth Behind the Mask, in movie theaters. The album sold. So this is interesting, and maybe we should do your thing after this too, Joey. But
Okay.
the new self-titled album was the album sold 73,000 equivalent units in the US during the week of its release, January 23rd through 29th. According to Billboard, this would mark the band's best week ever measured by units earned since the charts began ranking units back in December 2014. The album did well mostly due to pure album sales, which are physical and digital copies of the album that totaled 69,000. That is apparently the biggest sales week for any Megadeth record since 1999's Risk, which opened with 74,000 sold. Megadeth's 73,000 units number also marks the lowest sum to hit #1 on the Billboard chart since last May when SZA's album SOS returned with only 50,000 units sold. So even though Megadeth got like the number one album, it's like one of the lowest, like they had one of the lowest sales numbers for someone who hit a number one. So take that, Dave.
I was gonna say when they said that they have like 23 chart nominations or have been on the chart
Appearances,
or whatever appearances, like that in itself is an accomplishment.
It is,
like why
totally.
can't he just be like satisfied? But then he'd be like, how many does Metallica have?
Well, we're going to
cares,
talk about
dude?
that, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna
Okay.
talk
So
about it.
let's talk about Megadeth for a few minutes because
Yeah,
first of
yeah.
all, I want to talk about the new album because the reviews are in, and most people, even like huge Megadeth fans, are like,
So I'll be honest, I haven't listened to the full album yet, but I did listen to the Ride the Lightning thing. And again, it's like it's Ride the Lightning, but like with Dave's, I don't know, something was just shittily produced with the vocals. Like, I don't know if he used an AI vocal chain or something like he did with his AI music video, but it just sounded weird. Like, I don't know, it didn't sound like it sounded robotic. I don't know. I don't know.
Fantano did a review of it and he gave it a 3.
Oh god.
And he was raging on the Ride the Lightning cover. He's like, this is
Okay.
actually, he's like, it would have been cool if he had done this like in collaboration with Metallica or had like put a different spin on it. But he plays the solo, like he whined about Kirk Hammett's solo, and they play the solo like note for note.
Yeah.
And the reason I know
'cause
that
he
is 'cause
wrote it.
one of the YouTubers I watch who is a huge Megadeth fan was like, dude, I know that solo. I can play it note for note. So I know that the Megadeth solo is the same solo note for note.
Yeah. And it's a cool solo, but it's like, dude, I'll just go listen to Ride the Lightning by Metallica and hear better vocals. I'll hear actually cool vocals.
The thing about Dave's vocals too is his vocals are cool in certain contexts. Like they work in certain,
Yeah.
like Symphony of Destruction is a good example, right? It's like,
Yeah.
it's like a perfect kind of
Yeah.
instrumental for the type of vocal that Dave does.
And
And I
I
mean,
mean, a unique voice. Like I like that
Yeah.
Paranoid cover they do, but again, it's kind of like I think it's really the production. Maybe like it's just kind of you can hear like the
Fantano was-
whininess of his voice.
yeah,
It's like not raspy enough or like distorted enough. I don't know.
it's too clean. Well, I would say overall, it's like I was actually watching Dave Ellefson talking about it today.
Oh wow.
And
I
just like
saw
his
that
thoughts.
too.
Did you see some of that?
Yeah.
Because he he's a good dude. You can tell he's obviously, dude, that's his band. I mean, let's face it. Like he was in that band for like 20 years.
Yeah. Of course.
So in his studio and stuff, he has like the Big Four plaque and like all the stuff from his Megadeth years. But he was saying, he's like, I appreciate. He was like trying to find the good in it. He's like, I think Dave like did a good job with the songwriting on it, and he's like, and I think Timu, the guitar player, is just a standout player. Like he's amazing. The solo, like I when I listened to the album without the video, I did actually like the song, the first track a little bit more than I did when I saw the video of it. The one Tipping Point. Like some of the solo break, and same with I Don't Care. I actually liked I Don't Care a lot better when I didn't see the video for it. And I just kind of, because the playing, like the Timu solos and stuff on that are killer too.
See,
But-
like we were talking about a minute ago with a Wilhelm Scream, where there's like a 50-50 between like you kind of do gotta like put some effort into the writing and like the idea behind a song, but also kind of let it go. Like I think Dave might have leaned a little bit too much on the like the I don't care side of it,
Yeah.
where like he's just kind of like this is it. And again, he's not the only one writing it, but like most of the members now aren't original
Yeah,
members, so it's like it's his band now. So
Yeah. I mean, it's always been his band,
and
but
we talked about it too with Ellefson. I think he kind of said Dave wanted to do all these Metallica covers or whatever, and he was kind of like,
Yeah.
nah, dude, like we're Megadeth. So I'm sure he's humble. He's like, I'm not a part of that. Like,
Okay, well, what I think we should do real quick is let's jump up to this story because Joey has an addendum to it. So I wanted to
Okay.
cover this story because this is just one more example of like, listen, like I love a lot of Megadeth stuff. We rage on Dave a lot, but I think the problem with Dave is like he has no humility whatsoever, and it's like, and that's the part that like kind of, it's like, dude, if you just had the tiniest bit of humility, Dave.
Yeah.
People
well, and
would
the
like you
difference
so
in James and Dave is so uncanny. Like James is such a nice, like humble, like, you know, so it's hard to like hear those stories about him and take Dave serious, like he kicked his dog or whatever. Because I'm like, I just can't see him doing that. I'm sure they were drunk and whatever back in the day, but I don't know, just the humility side of it, where it's like you can see that James is like, you know, he's like a farmer, he's a humble guy.
right.
And Dave has just always kind of compared himself to
Everything.
He
yeah.
just thinks very highly of himself, which is cool. It's so I want to read this. So basically, this is kind of like a weird little story that fell through the cracks, but it's about a few years ago they were going to release the demo "No Life Till Leather," and it never came out, and this is why. So in a new interview with Classic Rock magazine, Dave Mustaine of Megadeth explained why a previously planned expanded version of Metallica 1982 demo tape "No Life Till Leather" has still not been released. The 7-song demo was recorded with the first incarnation of Metallica, including Lars Ulrich, James Hetfield, lead guitarist Mustaine, and bassist Ron McGovney. According to Mustaine, the release of the demo "No Life Till Leather" is unlikely to arrive anytime soon. So Dave, to quote Dave, "I wrote all the music on Phantom Lord, all the music on Metal Militia, all the music on Jump in the Fire and Mechanics, and I wrote the lyrics for Jump in the Fire and the Mechanics. So do the math. If I wrote the music and James wrote the lyrics, then the credit is 50% me and 50% James. Well, that's not what went down. When I left, James and Lars figured out that they were going to give Lars some percentage of the songs. He didn't write anything on, and that happened on all 4 songs. This was a bone of contention for me going forward with Metallica on anything because, you know, it just wasn't fair. You guys got more money than God. Why do you have to take my money?" Mustaine continued. So James called me up and he says, "Hey, man, we want to release this No Life Till Leather thing, and we want to get all this publishing stuff straight. And, you know, we really don't remember what went down." And I said, "Well, that's good because I do. I remember what went down, and I can help with that."
You can hear the tears in between.
You can also hear his voice. He's like, "Well, I do.
He kind of
I don't care."
You take a mortal man.
Yeah, that Lane Staley. We got to get that as a
And
video
put him
drop.
on a bus.
Yeah,
Put him on a bus. And I went, "Well, James, honestly, there's 3 ways to look at this. There's your way, my way, and the truth, which is some combination of the 2. And that was the end of the conversation. He took offense to that, and we hung up. And I don't remember speaking to him since then. You know, I was trying to be really friendly with him. He told me that the last 3 projects they did bombed, and they wanted to go back and use all the stuff that I was on. And I said, sure. As soon as I said that 3 stories bit, it was over. So hold on to that thought because Joey has a presentation after this. But let me finish this article real quick. Mustaine has also said in interviews he didn't want to perpetuate false information by giving Ulrich songwriting credit on the expanded version of No Life Till Leather. The Megadeth frontman also discussed the proposed expanded edition of No Life Till Leather during a June 2018 interview with Kerrang. In the interview, he claimed that the last time he spoke to Hetfield was when the Metallica guitarist called him to talk about No Life Till Leather re-release. Mustaine recalled, "He was trying to get me to give publishing over to Lars, despite James and I being the sole songwriters. Lars wanted a percentage, and I just said no. I love James. He's a terrific guitar player, but yeah, I can't do that. The songs are already out there. I'm not going to release something just to have a product to sell, especially if they are perpetuating false information. Lars did not write the songs. It was just me and James, period." So I thought this was kind of cool, just to show you the difference in these guys and how these guys act in public. Listen to Lars's version of this.
I've honestly, before you say this too, I was just thinking, like, I've decided that I love Lars Ulrich as a person. Like, I love his like approach to music, and that he just does it. He's like, "Oh fuck y'all."
So listen to what he said. Lars Ulrich told Metal Forces in an interview in 2016 that some unexpected difficulties on the legal side prevented the No Life Till Leather box set and our vision for how we were going to kick this whole reissue series off. We spent some time doing that dance, but then James and I decided it wasn't worth it getting bogged down in all the unpleasantries because this was supposed to be a celebration and not end up being a tug of war. So we thought, you know what? Fuck it. We'll just move on to Kill 'Em All. At the time, Ulrich did not get into the details of the exact issues that were preventing the demo from being released. It's a little more complicated than that, he said. There's no reason to go deeper into it. It was just something we hadn't expected. Back in November of 2017, Mustaine tweeted that he had been contacted by Hetfield 2 years earlier to discuss officially releasing No Life to Leather with 27 tracks, picks, the whole enchilada. But he said, the talks broke down because Lars wanted credit on 2 songs. I wrote every note and word to. I have the text. I passed. Metallica's original demo, No Life to Leather, was recorded on July 6th, 1982 at Chateau East Studio in Tustin, California. All of the songs appeared on the band's 1983 debut album, Kill 'Em All. One thing I will add before we get into your thing, Joey, is in the Dave Ellison thing, he made a great point. He's like, I know Dave wrote the one riff in Ride the Lightning, the you know, that breakdown riff.
Yeah.
He's like, I know Dave wrote that because they used it in other songs, but he's like, I don't think Dave wrote that song because all the stuff Dave wrote with them, he's like, they weren't even finished with that song yet. Like, if they were finished with it, it would have been on Kill 'Em All.
Also,
Right.
who gives a shit? I was just thinking while you were reading that, has
Dave
this dude
does, right?
seen the Queen movie? Because in that Queen movie, you know where that scene where they're about to play they're talking about that big show they're about to play. I think it was like, you know, the big festival.
It's like the Wimbledon Stadium. It's the
the international thing. It's like a bunch of things. And I think it's when after Freddie Mercury comes back to the band and stuff, and they're like, from now on, it's by Queen. It doesn't matter who wrote the song or who wrote the riff. Because like, again, even if Lars didn't write the song, he's playing drums. Yeah,
he probably contributed to the arrangement.
Yeah, so
he's probably asking for a tiny bit of publishing on the fucking, like, and Dave's like, no.
Yeah, so it's just a dumb way to think about it, because it's like, dude, you claim to have such a high like regard for Metallica and their success, but you can't like
you can't stop being a petty little prick about it.
This is why you're not in the band. Like, you know. Yeah.
But I also notice the difference between how Dave talks and how Lars talks. Lars was like very vague. He's like, we ran into some problems. We decided not to do it. Dave's like, but James told me and I said
every
this.
detail.
They're like, we'll just do the next album and release it.
Yeah,
and
we're
make
just
money
gonna
off
move on
of
to
it.
Koloss.
Fuck off, buddy.
So one thing I texted, I don't know if you saw it, Draiman, but I thought last week when we were talking about this on the text thread, wouldn't it have been super classy if Metallica's just donated all the money from this demo to Dave?
That would be classy.
Like, here you go, Dave. We're still going to give it to the fans and you can make all the money off of it. We don't need it.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
So
and even Kill 'Em All too. He claims that he wrote a bunch of shit on Kill 'Em All too.
I'm sure he wrote riffs on it, but like you said, it's a band effort. Like you. Anyway, go ahead, Joey. Sorry.
okay, so in our text thread last week, Dustin, you shared what you did, and we read it here now. But this quote just really bothered me because I'm going to preface it with this. Okay, Dave Mustaine, amazing guitarist. Okay, I think he's amazing, one of the best.
Yeah.
But personality, I just cannot get over. And this is why I rip on him week after week. Like, you either play the victim and you're a hurt individual and you don't talk trash, or you just talk trash about your own band, Megadeth, and you don't whine about not being in Metallica. But when you do both, I'm going to pick on you every week. So here we go. This is his quote. James told me that the last 3 projects they did bombed, and they wanted to go back and use all the stuff that I was on. So he thinks he's got some pretty good stuff, right? So I put together a list of all the Metallica and Megadeth albums in the order of most successful to least successful to see how many bombed, right?
Okay.
So the first one, do you guys want to guess the most successful album between the 2 bands?
What is it? Kill 'Em All and what's the first
Black
Megadeth?
album. The Black Album.
It's
Oh,
the
okay.
Black Album.
I thought you
This
were
is-
going in order. Okay, got you.
Yeah, going in order from number 1.
Got you. Okay.
Yep. Number 2,
Master of Puppets.
Justice, maybe.
Justice is
Justice,
Yeah,
correct.
okay.
because
see.
you got to remember, Justice had a single.
Gotcha.
One was like the big
One.
breakout.
So
Dryden,
then it's Master
number
of
3,
Puppets.
Master Puppets.
Yeah, okay.
Number 4, this one surprised me a little bit.
What was Megadeth's Master of Puppets?
He's gonna get to that.
Yeah, I'll get to that.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
here's number 4, Load, which, you know, this is when Metallica started changing, going a little bit more mainstream and things like that. So it makes sense. Number 5, Ride the Lightning.
Oh,
Number 6, Reload.
wow.
Number 7, Kill 'Em All. Number 8, believe it or not, Saint Anger.
Wow.
Okay. This is
So, yeah.
so
okay.
just, and I haven't been giving you the numbers, but Black Album, 33 million units sold.
Yeah.
The next was Justice, which was 11.1. So like huge, right? Now Saint Anger, we're down to 6 million units. Then next is Death Magnetic. And then, so this is one of the last 3.
Kind of an underrated Metallic album, I think.
Yeah,
I
has
love
some
this
cool shit
album.
on there.
But this is one of the bombs, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
So here's a bomb. Here's another bomb. Hardwired.
I like this album too.
That one's
This
pretty good, too.
album's great.
It's like we were talking about earlier too. Sorry to cut you off, but
No,
like
go ahead.
sometimes shit doesn't hit like right when it comes out. Like even Load, like sometimes I go back and listen to it. There's some songs that I like
Oh, heck yeah.
it hits different. Like they didn't get it at the time. People didn't understand it, but like going back, like this album too. I like this album a lot.
But if any Metallica, like new Metallica haters, if you don't know this album, Death Magnetic, you got to go listen to this one.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
That's my favorite of the
That's a
new
good
ones.
one.
Okay, so here's number 10, right? We're at 5 million units worldwide. Next is Countdown to Extinction. So Dave
Okay.
finally at 11 from the top.
Okay.
And this is 3.5 million units sold, which, you know,
It's awesome.
it's
People
actually a
would
very
kill for that.
successful, successful album. Next is 72 Seasons.
Wow.
One of their bombs.
They
So
just
another-
put that out like a fucking couple years ago too.
Yeah, 2.1 million units sold. So we're 12 albums in, and we have now covered all the Metallica albums and 1 Megadeth album.
Yeah.
13, Euthanasia.
That's a great one.
Interesting.
14, Rust in Peace.
Gotta be.
15, Peace Cells. 16, Cryptic Writings.
Wow.
17, So Far So Good So What. 18, Killing Is My Business. 19, Risk. Now we are, well, Killing Is My Business is the first one below 1 million units sold. This is 800,000. And then Risk, World Needs a Hero, Dystopia, The System Has Failed, United Abominations, Sick, The Dying, The Dead, Endgame, 13, Super Collider, and then only because it just came out, the new one at 70,000. So
Wow.
Megadeth
is-
too, they have more albums than Metallica, it seems like, but Metallica has more better albums.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
oh yeah.
Quality quantity thing.
Exactly. Yeah. It's kind of just
So
like
so here we can see the graph from the Metallica to the Megadeth. I just wanted to show it in its entirety.
Even their bombs are like selling more units than Dave's best albums.
Than a lot of Dave's albums combined. Yeah.
and the thing is, we've said it before, it's not even like you guys just said, it's not even like 3.5 million isn't insanely good.
Yeah.
But it's like if you're gonna try and shit on Metallica, like you're gonna have to sit the fuck down, buddy. Because and also you were in Metallica like that. If I was Dave Mustaine, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, I was in Metallica, like it was a good experience, like whatever. That's you can like
it
he
helped
can
launch
use that
me.
to his advantage almost,
Yeah.
you know?
And he'd
more than
probably
he
do
does.
better, actually.
Yeah. It's stupid.
He kind of tries to still, but not in like a good way.
In like a
Not-
negative way. That's
Yeah.
the issue. Is it's like it's fine that you whatever happened between y'all happened, but
Yeah. So I
seems
created
like
these
he's
graphs.
bitter.
These graphs, total career album sales, Metallica 155 million, Dave 50 million. So here again, like if he was actually just humble and like said, I love my band, whatever, like dude, 50 million units sold in a band's career, that's incredible.
Yeah.
But
Crazy.
when you keep kind of like, oh, you know,
Shading.
Metallica needs me. Well, the graphs say otherwise.
Yeah. Stop shading.
Well,
And
and
here-
of the big four too, like Anthrax and all the other, like Megadeth is second, so it's like Metallica and then
Right.
Megadeth probably in
Yeah,
sales.
that's
So it's
true.
like, why do why do you even care?
And
So
I
here-
honestly, I love Megadeth, but I like Anthrax and Slayer better than Megadeth.
Yeah, Slayer. Yeah, exactly.
Here we have Grammy Awards. Metallica has been nominated 22 times and won 9. And Megadeth has been nominated 13 and won 1. And if I remember right, when they were not, or when they did win, they played a Metallica
I was
song
about
when
to say
Dave was going
played
out.
Master of Puppets when they won.
That was a dickhead, cruel
Dude,
guy at
that's
the fucking
dude,
Grammy.
that's what you get though. Fuck
Totally.
you, Dave.
Dave
they're
probably
"Fuck
said
this
something.
guy."
Dave probably was being a dick or something to someone backstage, and they were like, "Oh, fuck you! I'm gonna play Metallica when you come out." I can totally see that happening.
Dude,
But also another thing that this made me think, Joey, going back to our conversation with the guys from Wilhelm Scream. When you look at Metallica's numbers versus Megadeth, you also have to consider that Megadeth is pretty much one guy. It's
yeah,
Dave.
He-
And the reason, one of the reasons Metallica has broader appeal is because it's more than one guy's voice in the mix.
Correct.
It's not just James. Like, sure, James writes the riffs and the lyrics and stuff, but I'm sure Lars has a big part in the arrangements.
Yep.
And I'm sure Lars writes songs too. Like I'm sure that, and Kirk does too. And riffs.
So to that point, my next graph, total number of members, Metallica versus.
I did not even see that coming.
So here's the thing: Metallica 9 members altogether, which is actually quite a bit. But
Yeah.
the band's been around 40 plus years, and they've had a consistent lineup now for 25 years, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Megadeth 35 members. And I just think that says something because there's someone or whatever in Megadeth that has to keep trying to get better or is not willing to collaborate or whatever. Like I think this graph says a lot.
Well, and with Metallica too, you can tell even with Jason or with Robert, like when they joined Metallica, they became a part of Metallica and the writing process. Like it
Mhm.
seems like Dave is just kind of has some hired guns, like they're great
Yeah.
players,
Yeah.
but like even Marty Friedman, like he's a great player, but he's kind of like a hired gun,
Well,
like
also
he's-
look at Marty Friedman as a person. Like he seems like the most kind of like gentle,
Yep.
calm, even keeled guy. He couldn't hang after a while. He's like, "Fuck this, dude! I'm going to Japan. I'm getting as far
Yeah.
away." From
Right. So I'm just wondering, does this graph have anything to do with this graph? Because you're not collaborating. It's just you. It's just your ideas, and you're actually hurting yourself
Yeah.
because you want to be in charge and you're not willing to collaborate and give other people credit.
Dude, just to go back to our conversation too, like we were talking about, the best part of being in a band is you might have an idea you think is really cool, but then someone else goes, "What if we do this or this with it?" And then it makes it even better,
Yep.
And Dave obviously doesn't have that collaborative mentality.
Right. Which again, incredible musician,
Yeah.
but it's kept him back from like the success that he's aiming for
Mhm.
because he's so locked into who he is and what happened to him that he can't set free and break free and be successful.
Yeah.
it pisses me off because I'm like, dude, if people could walk in your shoes, it's like,
Yeah, no kidding.
dude,
So
if you could sell, yeah,
Walk in these boots.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to go back to where this all started. James told me the last 3 projects they did bombed and they wanted to go back and use all the stuff that I was on. And to that, I will close with this. Humbly retire, Dave.
That's a good quote. Yeah.
Fantastic segment, Joey. Fantastic
Thank you.
segment.
Thank you.
I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, that
And
was
I
great.
appreciate you guys doing some of the legwork too. That's a great that's going to be a great video.
Well, the thing, I don't know, it just bothers me. I'm like, I don't want to talk trash about anybody, you know? But
Yeah,
it's just week after week. Like
it's
he
always
gives us
something.
news every week because he just talks
Well, and
trash about
he's just it's crazy too because Megadeth is such a great band. So it's like, dude, and like I said, there's Metallica and then there's Megadeth, and then obviously I love Slayer and Anthrax, but like you're saying, sales wise or whatever, he's done pretty well. So it's like, why
Yeah.
do you even?
Just take your win. Take your win. Like,
And you
it's
were
not even
in
an L.
Metallica too. Like, you, and I mean, he was a part of the formation of it. So it's like you
Yeah.
formed Metallica and you formed Megadeth. Like that is in its own like a
Huge
huge
deal.
feat. So,
But also, it's clear that it's like, dude, like with the Lars thing, it's like, man, Dave, you can't just give up like a couple percentage points on some of these songs to Lars because he helped arrange them, like just so you can get
he
the.
also plays the drums on the song.
You'll probably make a couple million off the fucking thing too, easily. With
Maybe
like,
he didn't write it, but I
that's-
don't get that.
on a serious note though, that's how much bitterness can affect a person. Like they can't see what they could get out of this opportunity that would actually help them
Yeah.
because they're so locked into that thing.
imagine how huge it would have been if they're like, hey, to promote this release, we're gonna do like 10 shows with Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play these songs. Dude, it would have been massive.
Well, I don't know if you guys have seen that video a long time ago where they did the Big Four thing where like
Mhm.
They did play with them on a couple
yeah,
songs.
for like a
Bulgaria.
minute they did the Am I Evil cover,
Mhm.
and that was cool because it's like all of them kind of like lined up, all the guys like together. But I don't know.
Yeah,
if
that's
anything like
that's
that'll
not
ever
enough.
happen.
That's
Yeah.
not enough for someone who's got bitterness in their heart. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, dude, you're so right. It's like he can't see the forest for the trees.
Well, and what's that? There's an entire chapter in that book. What is it? Which book is it?
Yeah, subtle art of not giving a fuck.
Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, about how Dave Mustaine needs to learn that.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to our album of the week, guys.
Ah, yes.
Meshuggah Koloss. I'll start because I listened to it, but not as much as I would have liked to listen to it. But I think the thing that I realized in listening to this, I listened to it probably twice all the way through, is that Meshuggah's albums, like just their songs, it like that guy was saying with their stuff, it's like you really have to listen to their stuff a few times to kind of like
Mm-hmm.
to like really grasp it and go, oh, that's fucking cool what they're doing there. Like that's so different and like killer, Like I think the standout, one of the standout songs to me is the one that's called The Demon's Name is it Technology?
Surveillance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
And then the Swarm song, there's a song called Swarm that
Yeah.
I played in a band that we had a song called Swarm, and it was based on this Spider-Man cartoon. But yeah, anyway. Looks like you double joined, Dryden.
I don't know how that happened.
That's weird.
Sorry, my internet's bugging. I don't know what.
Hello, me. Meet the real me.
Yeah. Sorry, would you? You can give me the gist of what you said.
Yeah, I basically just said I think Meshuggah's albums or Meshuggah's music in general is it requires multiple listens. It really
Yeah,
does. Like you
for
have
sure.
to really kind of like give it time to breathe, and because it's different, it's so it's the odd time signatures and the kind of stuff to really appreciate it. I think requires multiple listens.
Yeah, it's a good gym band too. I've noticed because they do these long sections where it's just instruments and like it's like a weird because Bill Burr explained it really well on that podcast where he's talking about seeing Meshuggah and Danny Carey's in the crowd and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, the drummer is holding down like a steady beat with one hand, like he's got like a 4/4 going on, and then with like his his feet, he's matching the guitars and like doing all kinds of other shit with the other hand. So it's a groove you can like lock into kind of, but they're also doing like a kind of something odd in each song too. I wish Eric was here too, because I wanted to hear what he would think about them, because they're a Swedish band.
Yeah.
Meshuggah is like Yiddish for crazy or something like that.
Well, going back to the Swedish bands, I that interview was really great because of the stuff he was saying about At the Gates
Yep.
and In Flames, and it's like these bands like these Swedish metal bands really set the tone for the new millennium, like Meshuggah and At the
New
Gates
Millennium, Cyanide Christ.
there you go. What did you think, Joey?
I'm gonna bring the songs up here. I think you're right, Dustin. Like the first listen, and again, I listened to this album probably like 3 times over the last 2 weeks or whatever it's been. But yeah, first listen, I'm like, man, the songs all kind of sound the same. And then the second listen, I was like, okay, I'm starting to hear a little bit different. And then the third, like starting to pick out some songs that I liked and stuff. But yeah, the Demon's Name is Surveillance. I like that one. Break Those Bones. I think that was one of my favorites. And then Swarm. Those are my top three.
Yeah.
But, and then the last Vigil, that was different to end the album.
Yeah, the very end. It's all quiet. And yeah.
So it's just it was different because like a lot of Swedish metal that I listen to, I guess, is more like what Eric sends me, like the power metal kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it was hard for me to like think that this is Swedish, but
it doesn't sound like European metal at all.
No,
it's completely different. And that's why it's so intriguing to me too, is because they inspired an entire especially back, like their first real record where they're doing stuff like this is like 1995. So like they were doing this before but like no one was playing 7-string and 8 strings like this and doing the kind of time signature shit that they were doing at the time. So it's just so like,
well, it looks like their first album came out in 91.
yeah, I don't know if that one is as like,
originally they were like just straight death metal, I think.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, but like what is it? Destroy, Erase, and Prove has Future Breed Machine on it, and like that song in general is a pretty dope song. But all their albums like after that too are just bangers. Like I think this album for me, I can listen to like any song, and I think I like pretty much all the songs. I really like that song Marrow now that I listen to it again. But I think what it got me into Meshuggah too for sure is obviously Bleed, but that song Demiurge, it's just so like crushing, that fucking like dun 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 bano bano bano, and then they do that like crazy walking guitar thing in the breakdown.
It's funny too because I this got me thinking, because like listening to this, I realized what a big influence on a band like Candiria Meshuggah was. Like totally, like Helmet and Meshuggah are like two of the biggest influences on Candiria. But like these bands totally influenced hardcore and metal, the direction of hardcore and metal in the US. Like hardcore kind of started getting more kind of like odd time signatures, and you'd have bands like Candiria, or like I guess Crumbsuckers were before Meshuggah, but Dillinger, Botch, like these bands that are doing these odd time signatures and kind of like bendy, weird riffs and stuff.
Yep.
And then on the metalcore side, obviously you have like At the Gates and In Flames, kind of with what do you call it, the 357 or something?
Yeah, that like bump.
The note skip.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's totally a Maiden thing too.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
Maiden.
like faster. They're like just playing it faster. It's like sped up Maiden. Yeah, I agree.
It's interesting, like some of these older bands. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Like it seems like they influence like a whole genre or subgenre.
Yeah,
but they don't get the recognition for it.
No.
You know,
Definitely not.
because there's other bands like that. Like I think of Zao, like they're super influential, but like they never got big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like people who know because like musicians
Yeah.
too, like that Bill Burr clip, he's talking about how he was in the crowd and Danny Carey from Tools in the crowd. It's like people who know, like they know what the
It's
fuck's
like
up. Like
when we went to see Mastodon and Gojira, and Homeboy from Converge was in the audience.
yeah,
And Scott Ian.
exactly. Like if you're a real musician too, but also just a music enjoyer, Meshuggah for metal was like a huge, because also too, I was gonna say that like just that sound of like they call it gent that when we did that whole discussion of it, that like really stringy bassy sound of guitars where they're really low, like everyone's doing that now. So it's kind of like
I would honestly say that after Korn really was the big sea change of metal in the early 90s with the new metal.
Yeah.
And then these guys were the big change into the jet shit.
Yeah, like Animals as leaders or Periphery. They credit Meshuggah a bunch for.
Well, these guys probably even influenced Gojira.
I'm sure.
for 100%. Yeah. Yeah, so it's great. I also love how the record just starts. There's no like intro thing. It just like goes.
Yeah.
Boom.
I love that. I love Pantera for that, which I'm sure Pantera was hugely influential on Meshuggah. But let me read this real quick. The background on Wikipedia says Thomas Hockey stated, is it Hawk or Hockey?
I don't know if it's hot. I think it's hockey. I don't know.
Thomas stated, as always, we try to take our music in a slightly different direction with each album. And with Koloss, we feel that we really nailed what we were going for. Organic brutality, viscera, and groove all crammed into a 54-minute metalicious treat, best avoided by the faint of heart.
I love it.
The Koloss album was different from others in terms of cooperation and making music together. Frederick and Martin had worked together in creating a couple of the songs. Jens Kidman, who retired from guitar playing since the album Contradictions Collapse, composed Behind the Sun, which was the fourth song, I think.
What was I don't know if you said, what was your standout tracks, Dad? Because I know you've heard this album.
Yeah, I said that the Demon is Surveillance.
Yeah, that's
the one
cool
that
song.
that really stood out to me.
Yeah.
And
I love that song, Do Not Look Down. Just like some of those grooves are so primal. Like that song, Do Not Look Down. It's like the just like, ugh. You got to see them live too. Like it'll make you appreciate. That's the other thing with them. Like I didn't really care for them as much until I saw them live, and it's just incredible. Like they're an incredible band. And they're like in their 40s or 50s.
That's what like when you guys first introduced me to Knocked Loose, I was like, yeah, this is kind of. But then when I saw them live, I'm like, I am sold. Like these.
Yeah, and this is one of their earlier albums too. So Meshuggah's like later albums too. Like their most recent album, it's Immutable, is also really good. Like when I saw them live, they played a lot of songs off there. It's really good. All their stuff is pretty fucking badass. Like Obsin, that has Bleed on it.
That was the only album I knew.
That one's good. That whole album's pretty good.
What's that B-sides one that has that track War?
Oh, I don't know what, I think it's just called like Rare Tracks or B-sides or something. Yeah, that's a cool song. I think that song is programmed like a lot. Some of their songs like are programmed drums and they just don't play them live. Like they have a lot of like crazy songs that they just don't play live. There's this song called that they have called I, and it's literally like a 17-minute song, and it's just like chaos for 17 minutes. But I love that. Like they're not trying to please anyone.
I have a couple more stories I wanted to touch on real quick. I won't get to the one that Joey sent me right this second, but I thought this was kind of cool actually. Sharon Osbourne is talking about bringing back Ozzfest, and one of the quotes from this article that I thought was kind of interesting. Here, let me share it so you guys can. Damn it, moving too fast here. Joey took a break, so we'll do this while he's out for a second.
No worries.
So Sharon did a interview with Billboard recently, and so I'll just read this blurb for you. We lost Ozzy last year on July 22nd, 2025, but his legacy will live on not only through his music and video, but also in the concert tour that bears his namesake, Ozzfest. Sharon Osbourne, Ozzy's wife and manager, was the business mind behind the legendary heavy metal singer. She recently did an interview with Billboard magazine and discussed her role in the wildly successful career of Ozzy Osbourne. All of the creative direction for visuals at Ozzfest was mine. I can't sing a note, I'm tone deaf, but I can be creative and I like to create things. Of course, Sharon was also responsible for the planning and execution of Back to the Beginning, which was Ozzy's big send-off and also now regarded as the highest grossing charity concert of all time. But Sharon broke news in her most recent Billboard interview by what she revealed about the future of Ozzfest. She had this to say. I've been talking with Live Nation about bringing Ozzfest back recently. It was something Ozzy was very passionate about, giving young talent a stage in front of a lot of people. We really started metal festivals in this country. It was replicated, but never done with the spirit of what ours was, because ours was a place for new talent. It was like a summer camp for kids. So that's the thing that I thought was the coolest about this, is kind of her focus on how Ozzfest it really was like a venue to break new bands. Like they had the 2 stages, and you know, a lot of these bands got a break from Ozzfest.
I would love to get on Ozzfest, but be careful what you say, because if you speak your mind, you might get kicked off.
Yeah, Sharon has interesting.
Don't bring politics into it, because you're not making it on.
Well, yeah, and you can't really try to date Ozzy's daughter anymore because she's taken now. So
I don't want to. I don't really think she's that. I'm not. Into
I was joking because Bert from the Used did that, and that's kind of.
Oh yeah, but even then, like back, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of.
She's old enough to be your mom, probably.
Yeah, but I'm also. I don't know. They have like the boat.
That can be hot though.
Shit. Yeah, I'm good.
This is a story Joey sent me a while back, and I thought we would cover it real quick because I thought it was a cool story. Alex Honnold climbs 101 floor skyscraper in Taipei while listening to Tool.
Okay, this guy is fucking insane, by the way. I'm sure it goes into it, but this guy is literally like insane.
American rock climber and free solo star Alex Honnold successfully scaled one of the world's tallest skyscrapers, Taipei 101, without any safety net or ropes. I saw some of the video of this. I think they made a movie for Netflix, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
In doing so, he set a new record for the tallest urban free solo in history. Honnold completed the ascent of the 101 floor tower in just 1 hour and 31 minutes as part of a live event that aired on Netflix. The climb took place on Saturday, January 24th, after originally being scheduled for January 23rd, but postponed due to bad weather. Ahead of the climb, Honnold told Netflix's Tudum that viewers would probably be on edge watching this, but hope they would get a little bit of my joy from the experience, that they can appreciate the fun of it and the beauty of it, because the scenery, just the whole experience. In a post-climb interview with Variety, Honnold said he was never concerned about finishing the climb, though the wind and fatigue did become factors as he reached the top of the building. I definitely noticed the wind, and then, I was getting tired, but a little by the top. I wasn't concerned that, I'm so tired, I'm going to fall off, he said, but I was like, okay, I'm feeling it. Honnold also shared that he listened to Tool while scaling the building. It's a random playlist that I made that I shared with production. I made it months ago while I was driving. I've been training to it a bunch, basically rock music that I've liked my whole life. Part of the appeal of music is that it actually helps me with pacing. Each bamboo box had been taking me about 5 to 6.5 minutes. I just know how long the songs are, so it gives you a sense of if you're going fast or slow. The event is currently available to replay on demand via Netflix. Honnold's biggest previous stunt was his 2017 ropeless ascent of a 3,000-foot sheer granite wall of El Capitan. His 2018 documentary Free Solo won both BAFTA and an Academy Award. So he's the same guy who did the mountain climb a few years ago.
My hands are literally sweating just fucking reading this. Like, fuck that. No, dude, have you seen the video? No, he's just using he has like a backpack full of chalk, and he's just climbing
so he can grip.
Dude,
the
fuck that. I don't know how people do that.
A lot of training.
You ever see those cave diving videos where people do those like cave videos where they like climb into these crazy like cave crevices and like crawl? I'm like,
not for me.
Fuck, I'm not dying like that. That's fucking crazy.
There's a, what's the guy's name? There's a guy who they talked about him on Rogan a while back, and he does this all the time. And there's videos on his Instagram of him like hanging from a rock by his pinky and shit. Like he
Yeah,
literally
dude.
trains his fingers to fucking be so strong he can like hang with like 2 or 3 fingers or 1 finger from a
I
fucking
saw a
rope.
video where that dude Alex is saying that people's fear of heights isn't entirely their fear of being up so high, but the fear of like falling and not being able to like, you can't do shit when you're falling. So
No shit.
I mean, it's true, but it's just like I don't know. I'm like, dude, I can't fucking do that. I have an irrational fear of heights.
Yeah,
So-
my balls jump up into my throat if I fucking walk to the edge of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, dude.
I had let's see what it was the summer before I got married. I was working with my uncle and I was changing the light bulbs on the cell phone towers.
Ooh.
So I was climbing the big towers, and I think the tallest one I did was like 450 feet.
Damn,
Dude, you can get like electrocuted too or something and fucking fall.
No, I don't think there was any of that, but it's
okay.
like there's usually like a ladder on one side of the tower that you climb, and then there's a cable that goes all the way up, and you strap your little hook in the cable so it rolls up with you, but then if it'll catch if you drop down for some reason.
You at
But
least have a.
there was no dropping down. I mean, the first couple towers, I'm just like white knuckling the whole way up. Just
Yeah, that shit's fucking scary.
and you have to take breaks like on the way up, right? Like because you can't just climb unless you're this dude. But the first time like to actually like put your hook on the ladder and just like lean back and rest, it takes so much courage,
I could imagine, dude. I fell off a cliff when I was 15.
Yeah.
And it was like luckily it wasn't like a fucking, but it was a good 20, 30 feet. And it was on a mountainside. So when I landed, I fucking cut my hand open on a sharp rock. I had to get stitches in my palm. But like after that, I became a little less brave because we used to run around in the mountains, like drinking and smoking weed and stuff in Utah. And I mean, I have some I know kids who fell off cliffs and died. You know what I mean? Like there's a guy I know whose son fell off Rock Canyon and fucking.
Or what was that fucking water place where people would like swim under and then someone got stuck?
That's such a Utah thing. Yeah, there used to be this place. I forget what they called it, but it was this cave. But to get into this cave, Joe, you had to swim through a cave. And so what a bunch of kids in my neighborhood would do is they'd go buy like alcohol, like a bottle of wine or a bottle of whiskey or something. They'd take it in a backpack and they'd swim into this cave and drink it and then swim out. Well, a bunch of my friends, one of them was actually, I'll have to show you guys some of his shit. His name was Blake and he was in this band called Parallax. It's like a hardcore band. He was like a total vegan, like Buddhist hardcore kid. One of them went in and then the other one went in and they all got stuck in the tunnel and drowned. Wow. And after that, after they found him, the state filled it with cement. They're like, yeah, no more.
Oh, there's that other one, that peanut butter cave or whatever it was that got cemented off too.
Was it in Utah?
Yeah.
That might be the one.
Oh, is it? Okay.
That might be the one I'm thinking of. Yeah. Maybe not.
I don't know if it was peanut butter. It was something weird.
This was years ago. Dude, this happened like a long time ago. In like the mid 2000s.
Yeah, dude, no one will ever peer pressure me to do some shit like that. Like I'm like, dude, fuck that. I'm like, I'm good with being a pussy. I'm like, I won't do it. You can fucking die. I don't. That's natural selection. Like, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, some people love that shit too, and it's like more power to you. Like at least you died doing something you loved. You know,
True.
Right?
True.
Oh yeah, Nutty Putty Cave.
Nutty Putty Caves. Yep.
Permanently sealed in 2009. Yeah, they made like a movie on that.
Really? That might be it. I think it was like Nutty Putty Caves. I remember very well.
John Edward Jones. Yeah, he got trapped like completely upside down, and they tried pulling him out, all that stuff, and they.
Oh no, that was like an actual.
That's the one with they made the movie about with James. Was it James?
No, that's 127. What is it? Fucking 275. Whatever the number is. Hours.
Days or whatever.
Yeah, that's a different guy. That guy like fell and got his arm trapped in a
cut his
boulder.
own arm
The Nutty
off to
Putty
get
Cave. Okay, so we're talking about three different things. The
Yeah.
Nutty Putty Cave is this. I know what you're talking about. Is this guy that got trapped like upside down in an actual cave?
Yeah.
But the water place is something different. I
Yeah,
think
that's
that's like a
different.
swimming hole.
And then the 117 hours, or the guy who, that
Yeah.
Aaron Ralston guy,
I remember
cut his
that
own
video
arm off with
for
a
that
pocket
movie.
knife.
Yeah.
to get out of there. But well, I got a couple more stories, guys. Here's a good one.
Oh, I saw this.
Sexual assault lawsuit against Motley Crue's Tommy Lee revived thanks to a new California law. This is kind of what they did to Donald Trump in New York. They kind of removed a statute of limitations so like some people could come out and like file assault lawsuits against him. And it sounds like this is kind of, but let's read it. Heather Taylor renews claims against Tommy Lee, citing new legislation allowing previously barred adult sexual assault laws in California. Heather Taylor has refiled her sexual assault lawsuit against Motley Crue drummer Tommy Lee, citing a new California law that opens a retroactive window for claims previously barred by statute of limitations. It's the same thing they did in New York. The move comes nearly 3 years after Taylor voluntarily dismissed her original 2023 complaint, which accused Lee of sexually assaulting her in a helicopter in 2003. Okay. Taylor's renewed filing relies on Assembly Bill 250, signed by Governor Gavin Newsom in October 2025 and effective January 1st, 2026. The statute allows adult survivors of sexual assault to bring civil claims against individual perpetrators without having to prove a cover-up or involve a business entity, which Taylor's attorneys identified as a barrier in her original case. In a statement to Rolling Stone, Taylor said, "If anyone thought my prior dismissal was a retreat, they vastly miscalculated my stamina. I dismissed my own case to await this legislation. Now that I have the law in my favor, I'm seeking justice." That's kind of interesting.
What the fuck?
The lawsuit largely mirrors her original complaint. Taylor alleges that she was coerced into a helicopter flight with Lee and pilot David Martz in early 2003. According to her filing, Lee allegedly groped her and attempted sexual assault while Martz watched. Taylor says she was traumatized and too afraid to report the incident at the time. Martz later died in a 2015 plane crash.
Because he tried to do it solo.
Tommy killed him. Taylor's renewed complaint includes claims for sexual battery, gender violence, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and negligence, and requests unspecified. This is the part that it makes it all worthwhile. And requests unspecified compensatory and punitive damages along with a jury trial. Her attorneys maintain that her allegations are credible and that the assault caused long-term emotional and psychological harm. I don't want to be the bad guy, but also I feel like if you have to make a law to you have to pass a new law to get your case reinstated, like you might not have had a good case to begin with.
You got in the fucking helicopter, dude.
I mean, that doesn't mean you should be sexually assaulted, but it's also
Right.
like it's like the Louis C.K. thing, right? It's like this is the thing I said, and this might be controversial, guys, so bear with me here. But I told people, I'm like, look, if feminism is a thing and women are equal, like then they have an equal share of the blame. Like with the Louis C.K. thing, like these women accused him of sexual assault when they went to his hotel room at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I asked a bunch of my friends on Facebook, I'm like, girls, would you go to a guy's hotel room at 3 a.m. if you didn't think he was going to try to, if you thought, if you didn't think he was going to try to make a move and like have sex with you? And every single one of them was like, hell no. Like I would never go back to someone's room at 3 a.m. And so it's like, to me, I'm like, okay, if he pulled his dick out or something, get up and leave. Like you're in his hotel room at 3 a.m. and like,
Yeah, that's
What do you
kind of what I'm
expect?
saying. Like, obviously, you can't just assault someone in a helicopter, but
but we don't.
if you're
but we also
kicking it with
don't know.
Tommy Lee of Motley Crue and he
Yeah,
asked you to
he's
get in his
Tommy Lee.
helicopter on a private flight,
Right.
I would do it.
Me too.
yeah, who knows? I guess
I would let
guess-
Tommy assault me too.
Yeah,
I'd enjoy it. No, but it's like the thing about these stories to me is it's like, what's the, like, I want to know, like, why was she on the helicopter? Like what transpired before that? Maybe she gave Tommy the idea that he had like a green light to do what he did. I don't know, and I'm not saying, I guess they're going to have a trial or something, but it seems like these people are digging this shit up for money.
Well, I would never want to support someone being sexually assaulted or anything, but
Of course not.
I mean, these rock stars again, like the Marilyn Manson thing, like all this, like
What do you expect?
they're known for sexual perversion. Like,
Right.
I don't know.
Tommy Lee. I don't know if this is before or after the Pam Anderson porno came out, but like on a boat in a helicopter.
I don't know. It just floors me. It's like, well, if you don't want to put yourself in that position, then don't go around these rock stars. I don't know.
Yeah.
But again, like,
it doesn't make it okay.
It doesn't at all.
It also, it's like, if it was, I don't know. My inner, good person always wants to side with the victim. But also you have like especially in today's world, after the stuff that happened with like, Johnny Depp, for example, it's like, and Marilyn Manson, it's like, dude, sometimes like these people are being, it's lawfare. Like there's people just like using legal attacks to get money from them,
which I think is awful because it ruins it for the people that actually do get assaulted.
that actually
Yeah, that's the thing.
Assault. Yeah.
That's my skepticism towards it, I think, because
Right.
there's been a lot of, again, if the jury goes over it and is like, he's guilty, then it's like, hey, fuck
Okay.
off. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like, I
I
guess.
think that's the other thing too about these cases is we don't live in, like, we're supposed to have due process, and the trial is by media now. Like before Johnny Depp, anyone even knew anything, like, oh, he's a terrible boycott Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
fire
or
him,
Marilyn Manson.
it's like, dude,
People still say that shit. And I'm like, she got like proven like faking all these like shit to like
there was
get
a court
people to
case
speak. Yeah, like there was a
where they
whole
went
case
into the
and he was
details.
acquitted.
And
Like if he did something fucked up that was justified in like putting him, under whatever, like they
Right.
would have done it.
So I would apply that same. I would apply that same mentality to any of these cases where it's like, okay, look, someone's being accused. There's a case. We don't know all the details. Like, I'm not gonna just be like,
Yeah.
oh, Tommy Lee's a piece of shit because
That's
this
the
thing said
problem.
he
People
was.
jump the gun without knowing all the
But
details.
we also don't want to defend him either.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. I'm not gonna give one way or another.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not defending him. It's like defending him would be if he was really guilty and you're like, no, it's cool. It's
Yeah.
like, no, we're not defending anything. We're just there's a lack of nuance with these kind of cases.
Well, also the case was being reopened. Doesn't that mean it was already kind of like dealt with in a way before?
Well, she dismissed it. So, but like I said, they did that same thing to Trump in New York, where they passed a law to like make the statute of limitations obsolete for 1 year, so that a couple people could file lawsuits that they wanted filed. So I don't know what the case is with this one with Newsom, but I know Newsom's about to run for president, and so it makes me wonder, like, if there's political motivation behind him passing that law, or who knows.
Did you see this is kind of off topic. They're trying to, well, they did pass it. The taxing per like mile or whatever.
I saw that, but here's the thing.
How would that even make sense?
But here's the thing too. Everyone's always attacking California, and let's be honest, California deserves to be attacked for a lot of reasons. But I've noticed this thing where people will spread disinformation about something. Like a couple years ago, they were telling me some shit about recycling. Like, you're gonna have to pay for recycling now or something. Like, that's not even real, dude. Like, the thing I think I saw the thing you sent me about they're going to tax people for mileage or something like that. Like, I haven't seen, like, I feel like if that was really legit, one of the like podcasters or news shows I watched would have covered it and like, look at this. Like, this is, because sometimes people just make a video on Instagram or whatever and go like, oh, did you see this? Here's a picture I show of it. And it's like, okay, dude, like, I don't know how legit you are. You're just a kid on TikTok, but
True that.
While we're on the politics thing, though, Joey sent me another great story that we should talk about. And this one for a couple reasons. But our boy David Draiman is back in the news again, and David Draiman always has something to say that's worth listening to. So let's listen to what he has to say here. You guys see this?
No.
Whoops.
I was disappointed, to say the least. After watching the Grammy Awards last night, there were many great moments and many great performances. I was disappointed that not a single person decided to say anything about what's happening in Iran, about the Iran massacre, about the fact that tens of thousands of innocent people have been slaughtered, shot after their
How ironic.
little beds, hunted down
Hold on. Let him finish.
mercilessly, repressed. You are supposed to be against repression. You are supposed to be for freedom. You are supposed to be for human rights, right? Okay. Well, the Iranian people deserve your compassion. They deserve your concern. They deserve your focus, and you gave them none of it. And it's embarrassing for all of you. I'm not arguing against your respective causes. I'm not even voicing my opinion on them, okay? Everyone's entitled to a voice. Everyone's entitled to an opinion, but why? Why wasn't there a single voice on behalf of the Iranian people? Well, they wouldn't speak for you. I will. Women, life, freedom, free Iran.
What does that mean?
Okay. There's a lot I have to say with this, but I'll let you go first, Dryden. What were you gonna
Well, I was gonna say, my first thing was, if we're talking about human rights, pull up a picture of him signing a literal like bomb that's going. It's
Kill
like,
women and children?
let's talk about human rights for a second. How's that for human
So-
rights?
Also, this is the first thing I thought was like, dude, how can we sit here and go, we need to bring freedom to Iran as you see what's going on in Joey's town?
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, we really need to go free Iran. It's like, dude, we need to free America. What the fuck is
I'm
like?
sick of fucking. First of all, I just hate the way he talks. Like he talks like he's like in a movie or something. He's like, "Why did no one?" He's like Jason. He's trying to be like Jason Bateman. He's
You
like,
catch his
"Why the
necklace,
fuck
too?"
did no one?" Yeah, it's like, dude, yeah. That's my first gripe with him. But
I have another angle on this, but I want to hear what Joey has to say because Joey's the one who
Yeah,
sent me
yeah.
this.
Well,
Joey's our
I
middle
mean,
ground.
How did I say this? I respect him for wanting to share his passionate opinions, beliefs, whatever. And even though I might not agree with them all, I can at least respect it. However, to Dryden's point, I think it's kind of hypocritical, at least from perception wise, when you're talking about human rights and signing bombs. And even if let's just say he's right, Israel is on the right side. Like, is it still okay to sign bombs and then preach human rights? I don't think so. But my biggest beef with all of this is if I'm watching the Grammys, which I don't, but if I was interested, the last thing I would want to see is anyone talking anything political. Like, use that stage to thank your manager and your fans or whatever, accept your award and get off. Like, why does everything have to be political?
And it bothers me too. Like, I'm sure you guys have seen all the shit Billie Eilish said last night. And it's like you said, I'm all for people saying what they want to say or whatever. But it's like, dude, you don't understand what people are going through because you live in a gated community. You live in you have a butler, you have a maid, you didn't go to public school. Like, you don't have the same. And not that it's invalid, but like it kind of is because it's like you don't know what you're talking about. Like, you don't have the authority. Just because you're famous and you have a platform doesn't mean your opinion is correct. Like,
two things on that. Like Billie Eilish, I just read the comments. I love reading the comments.
Yeah.
But the Billie Eilish thing, she said like there's no. What'd you say? There's no one is illegal on stolen land, and all the people in the comments are like, "I'll be at your house later."
Yeah,
I'm coming to your house, obviously. Like,
Well, and again, it's like we've said, like with that Ken Burns, the West thing, like we obviously did all kinds of fucked up shit, but also what was going on before we came in here and did all
Right.
that? Like they were all genociding each other. You know what I mean?
And
Like that.
every country has every other country
And
has a
everyone
similar
had
dynamic.
slaves and all kinds
Spain
of fucked up
colonized
shit.
South America. Like
Yeah.
there's not a bunch of people in Brazil going, "Get out of here, Spaniards!" Like, or, you know what I mean? Like, this is stolen land.
It was the nature of the world back then. The strong, like this, it was honestly more brutal. Like people, the stronger people, and not that it makes it okay that we did all that or whatever,
right.
but it was just the nature of the world. Like it's
It's
just
not-
kind of an out of touch thing to say, especially coming from her. Like it's like, dude, just fucking sing. Like, shut up. Like no one can. We're at the. There's a Jim Carrey Grammy speech where he's like, someone asks him a thing, and he's like, none of this matters. He's basically just starts roasting. Or Ricky Gervais. There's a clip where Ricky. I'm sure you guys saw it, where Ricky Gervais
that was
is like,
great.
anyone who's going to talk about politics tonight, like, save it because you don't. That's basically what I said. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. You went to a private school. You live in a gated community. You don't get, like, we just shut up. We want to hear music. Like,
So the one other thing I want to add to the Draiman thing is
I hate him.
this photo right here for this Free Iran one. This woman is not even Iranian.
I was gonna
She's
say that's
Canadian.
that also looks AI.
It does. But this photo was taken in Canada, and so the other side of this is the whole like Iran thing is a regime change operation. It's the new way to get us to go to Iraq or what, you know, one of these bullshit wars. Oh, we got to save the people of Iran. Yeah, most of those protesters that are fucking agents of the United States. And
Yeah. Well, it's again
placed there to cause problems. Which
Yeah.
is what we've been doing, and they do that shit here in the States too. They fucking cause this like divide and conquer thing,
Mhm.
and that's just how they do it. But it's like it's so much deeper than just like, oh, we need to support freedom in Iran. No, we need to not have another war.
Why don't we support freedom here first?
Yeah, exactly. But that goes back to my original point. It's like, dude, how can you sit and say that, David Draiman, when you look at the United States right now?
Yeah.
We don't have freedom here. There's people.
Are you able to just look up on Google David Draiman signing bomb and just pull that picture up? Because it's just like, it's just a direct counter. Like I should just stitch that video and just put that fucking picture up, because it's like, dude.
Yeah.
The thing that sucks for me is like Disturbed isn't terrible. Like I don't hate all their stuff, but it's like it's that kind of attitude that makes me like them, like not want to like them. You know what I mean? Where I'm just like, dude,
I really like their music, but I just like when I saw this video, I'm like, no, David. Like when if I watch the Grammys, I just want to hear them play music and say thank you.
They also
like
sorry
cares?
they didn't talk about Iran, but they also said all kinds of other shit about different. You know what I mean? Like people were still using their platform or whatever. Maybe they didn't. Sorry, they didn't get to your cause yet, but like it's like. It's just
everyone else. Like I've seen Youngblood going like, we need to support Iran and stuff. Like there's plenty of people doing it.
Well, that's
just not
why
at the
he's
Grammy.
Ozzy Osbourne's alumni.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, it's I don't know. I wish we could stop making everything into like a red versus blue thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It doesn't have to be that. Like I can still respectfully disagree with people and not like hate every fiber of their being. Like the thing that pisses me off about like the Billie Eilishes is they're like, if you like Trump, don't ever come to my shows or shit like that. It's like, dude, fuck you. Like that's you have no
You'd
idea.
be surprised.
I don't like Trump, but I still won't go to her show.
Yeah,
right. And like imagine someone saying that, like, if you don't like Kamala, if you like Kamala, you better not come to my shows. It's like, dude, oh, you sexist, racist, you know? It's like, come on, dude. Like this is
you just alienated your fan base, because not everyone in your fan base is a fucking. You know,
listen.
I don't know.
I like Billie Eilish, and it's not gonna like.
Yeah, I mean, I
gonna
like
make
her.
me,
That's the
not
thing.
listen
I
to
like
music
her
or anything, but-
music. I don't care what she has to say about fucking politics. Like,
Yeah.
you're not in the position to like.
Well, and And the celebrity viewpoint on a lot of these political issues is just the media
The
viewpoint.
status quo. Yeah, it's
It's
literally
just what they show on TV.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I saw on TV
Yeah,
this
I've
happened,
heard that
so you
before.
gotta,
I've been hearing this for 3 weeks. I'm glad you got to it.
Right.
So, well, with that said, then we have to give props to Draiman because he's kind of going against the status quo all
True.
the time.
Well,
Well,
not really.
supporting a war with Iran isn't really
Yeah.
status quo. Because that's kind of that, but the thing is, that's how they get you now. Like it used to be, like when they were going to invade Iraq, they're like, we're like, no, fuck no. Now they're like, oh, dude, there's some protesters being killed. We got to go do it for freedom. You know, oh, we got to go bomb those people and spend billions of dollars invading their country. It's not because we want their oil or any of their natural resources. It's because freedom. It's like
We need
that's
to bring
the shit.
freedom to other countries.
This two-dimensional viewpoint of like world events, as if like the US doesn't have a long storied history of being scumbags that start these and it's not the people of the US either. It's our leaders and the people in political power that do this shit for all, like what they just did in Venezuela for credit. You know, it's like we need to focus on get our own house in order before we start going out and telling, like, there's people being shot point blank in the streets in the United States for no reason, and we're like, oh, we got to help the people of Iran,
Yeah.
bring them the same kind of freedom we got here. Yeah, freedom to get blasted 9 times in a protest in the back. And again, it's like with that stuff too. I wasn't there. All I know is what I saw in the media. So I don't know the full story of any of that shit, but neither does David Draiman or
Yeah,
Billy
well,
Idol.
again, that's the thing. It's like, dude, you don't know shit. Just fucking
Right.
Just do your and shut up, dude. Like,
I think I have a sound
go
drop.
sign a fucking bomb, dude.
I'm looking forward to Disturbed's next album whenever it is because I think it's going to be really angry.
I'm sure it
mean,
is.
Maybe it's good.
He's gonna have a song called "Free Iran."
All right, guys. I think I
Yeah,
have.
it's getting late. I'm starting to get tired.
We can save these stories.
Yeah,
for
it's after 11:30 here.
we went really long with those guys too, and I wasn't expecting it to. So all these other stories we can save for next week. Some of them are on the site, but I had that one about the AI chick, Joey.
Yeah, and I have some good ones for next time too.
Oh, next week we're going to talk about misogynist lyrics in metal.
yeah.
That one is going to be a good one. because-
Baby, it's cold outside.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up, boys. Anything else you want to say before we shut this thing down?
Check
I
out
think
Wilhelm Scream.
Yeah, we covered a
If
lot.
you're in
today.
LA too, well, it's sold. The Friday one is sold out, but if you're in, I guess it's not really LA. I have a show in Pomona on February
That's the
8th. I know
IE,
that's
baby.
the Super Bowl,
That's
but
the Inland Empire. Don't call that LA.
yeah, that's not LA. But if you're in the Inland Empire area, I know that's the Super Bowl. So, I mean, I don't think anyone in there is a Patriots or Seahawks fan. So spend
Yeah.
your Sunday
Listen to some good bands.
listening to some good bands.
I was gonna play. I was gonna play this soundbite of what Will Ferrell had to say to David Draiman.
Why don't you go back to your home on Whore Island?
Yeah.
Where is my Disturbed one?
They
I
always
know I
do that
have-
on Kill Tony.
Yeah, some of those stuff. And Brian Redband is pretty funny with the sound effects. I'll give that guy a lot of credit. But
Bacon soda. That's my favorite one.
whip it to the glass.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining, you guys. Thanks for jumping on, and go check out Wilhelm Scream. Listen to their shit. Their new record drops on the 27th, and we will see you next Monday. I know we had a little bit of a break last week. We had a little bit of internal tragedy that we won't go into right here, but we'll be back next Monday.
We'll figure it out.
Same time, same
We're
channel.
not fucking giving up.
Yeah. We can't be stopped. Let's put it that way. Peace out, y'all. Have a good night.
So
Actually, I got to put in this outro video.